Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. Today is a day that we should never forget. Today is the day of the ETF launch for a true XRP spot ETF. And what I mean by that, we've had other leveraged XRP ETFs, we've had some XRP ETFs with ETP as part of it, but none of them are like the one that is going to launch today, because today's launch of the Canary ETF is a true XRP spot ETF, and it is a historic day. We've been waiting for this for over a year. We've been tracking this for over a year, and we've been spot on with every single one of our predictions, unlike other YouTubers. So we're going to watch that happen live on today's show. I'm going to go into what it means and why it's actually so important. But not only is it important, it's just such a historic day for XRP holders, the XRP army. It brings true validation to our favorite coin, or at least my favorite coin. But let's have a watch party. Let's enjoy it. Is it going to be a sell the news? Is it going to be a massive pump? Well, either way, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter, because I'm looking at this long term. However, we will explore the idea of both. I'll tell you how significant it is and where this can push XRP's price to. But let's enjoy it together. Let's have a watch party for the best community on YouTube, the Lucasade Army, right here. Let's get into it. As always, every single day, we will go over to our very own real news story, real news source. Unlike other channels that just spew out nonsense, we do hours of research. And today's newsletter, it's not only a newsletter, it's a blog, it's a web page, it's an app, it's a community, it's a one-on-one messaging service. It's our we call it the Sensei's Insight. So all of the research is put into one newsletter every single day. There is a 1-week free trial. Check it out. First link in the description. Also in the live chat as well. But here we go. Let's get straight into it, because there's a lot of news stories today. Obviously, the main one we want to focus on is XRP, so I'm going to come on to that. But just an idea of what's going on. The UK's GDP, and remember, we look at the UK to see what's in store for the US, because they do correlate quite significantly. Slows to 0.1%. We're entering recession, potentially recession territory that here in the UK. US shutdown ends, which is great. I mean, we did explore the idea of, if a US shutdown ends, does that mean the XRP ETF won't come out? But we said we're very confident because of the fact that the US shutdown ends today. The SEC aren't going to come straight in the door and stop the XRP ETF going live. They might stop the next ones going live by either telling them to change the way they're filing, or they might keep the 20-day countdown. But we are safe today. We're 99% sure we're getting this ETF today. So even though the shutdown ends and that specific 20-day rule might come to an end, it's fine, because all the procedures have already taken place. So I'll show you those procedures. The NASDAQ listings. We've already got the ticker symbol. We know how much they're going to charge. We're going to get into all of that. But separate news, the US shutdown ends. The issue is we might have a shutdown 2.0 by the end of the year again. So we'll dive into that as well. Starbucks workers are on strike. GoPuff valuation is dropping 43%. XRP launches its first US spot ETF. Institutional access unlocks with today's volume set to define long-term demand trajectory. So today we're going to get a very nice piece of information. We're going to get the amount of volume. That's going to be the institutional interest in XRP. So we're going to get a very key data point, and always follow the money. And what we're going to be doing is following the money with the volume of the XRP launch today. We're going to compare it to Bitcoin, gold, and then something a bit more comparable, which will be Litecoin, Solana, and HBAR. We're really looking to be beyond those ones, and maybe the volume won't be as much as Bitcoin or gold, but we want to see how far we can get past Solana, because Solana was last week's launch, or a couple of weeks ago, and that had quite a large demand. So we'll see if today's volume for XRP outweighs Solana a lot, and that'll tell us what institutions are more excited about. So we'll get that data point today as the ETF launches. That ETF is launching as the market's open in about an hour's time, so stay with us for that. We've also got our favorite stock, or one of the stocks that built this channel, which was Virgin Galactic. Very interesting, a very low valuation, high risk, high reward at this point. Again, not financial advice, but we've got a whole deep dive on that for any SBCE holders / people that want to have heard about Virgin Galactic and want to dive into it a bit more. That's the whole deep dive today. So the 43-day US government shutdown is over. But the next one may just be 78 days away. It cost 14 billion in loss output, froze economic data collection, and disrupted aid to millions. With ACA subsidy talks unresolved, markets now face a fresh risk catalyst in late January. So going into the new year, the shutdown could come back because the issues aren't solved. So shutdown shows you how fast income flows can freeze. Keeping a small cash buffer, ideally in high yield accounts, can help weather delays in pay, benefits, or tax refunds. It's not advice, it's just a hedge against uncertainty. We don't give advice here, but the recommended thing to have is some emergency funds, potentially in a savings account. And situations like this obviously show how important that can be. Let's move on to our big story today, which is all about XRP. Go check out the newsletter. You can get it every single day as well to get all the top stories. But XRP's first US spot ETF launches today, the 13th of November. We've been waiting for this day. How exciting. If you are excited, if you are looking forward to it, if you are joining our watch party today, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Even if you're watching this later, you can still be a part of the fun. So make sure you've hit that like button and you have subscribed. Got my favorite mug here today. XRP to the moon. There we go. Our favorite mug. Well, my favorite mug. Any idea when the ETF is live? We're expecting it to go live as the market opens. So let's read our article about the XRP ETF. So the first ever US spot XRP ETF, the Canary XRP ETF XRPC, launches this morning on the Nasdaq, officially bringing physical XRP into US regulated markets. And let me just make it clear, there's lots of people on X. I don't know if any of you saw my tweet yesterday or my X post. They were acting so surprised about this. They were going, wow, it's got approved. We weren't expecting this. And I'm just sat here thinking, should these people have X accounts? Because for the last 12 months, we've been tracking these ETFs perfectly. Firstly, with the 245-day deadline, and then as soon as the SEC changed the rules to the S1, we tracked that. And then as soon as the shutdown happened, I told you about the new 20-day deadline. And then as soon as Canary Capital filed their 20-day amendment and took away their delaying amendment and put in the new wording that could only be used in the shutdown, I told you about that, and we tracked it since 20 days ago. So I don't understand why it was such a surprise to many people on X. They just obviously don't do their research, and they just there for clicks. So very strange, but we knew this was happening. There was a few hiccups. We didn't know if the shutdown will end last week. For example, if it ended last week, it might be a bit different. But this week, we've been very confident that today would have the ETF. So let's see if we're right or not. I don't know what all the confusion was on X and why everyone was so surprised. I mean, if you follow this channel, and you should be following this channel because we're the only channel that does all the research, does 4 hours of research every day for the newsletter, does hours of research, so we bring you the most honest, most real information. Not like other channels that, remember, look, we don't have any corporate sponsors. We do have sponsors from family members, and I'll come on to that in a second. We do have Charlotte May Weddings, who's a sponsor and is sponsoring our giveaway. But they're a member of the show. They love the show. That's why they're sponsored. We don't take any corporate sponsorships. We don't take sponsorships from Martyn turns down $30,000 deals from crypto exchanges, leverage trading exchanges, crypto projects. We don't do any of that here. And that makes our voice honest, because when people take sponsorship deals, most of the time they have to be very careful of what they say, and they have to say it what suits the person that's giving them the money. We don't take it. We're honest. We're real. We don't want our community to lose. We go live every day to engage with our community. So we do have sponsors like Charlotte May Weddings. If you are part of this community and you ever want a wedding in Greece or in Spain, do check out Charlotte May Weddings for all wedding planning things. So do check out Charlotte May Weddings. They are sponsoring the giveaway as well. So we are giving away $2,000 worth of XRP. I'll tell you more about that later on in the show. But essentially, if you go to this link here, martynlucas.com/giveaway, that is in the description, that is in the live chat right now, you can earn points for just visiting their website and just subscribing to Charlotte May Weddings. So I'll give you Charlotte May Weddings YouTube channel as well in the live show right now. Click on that, subscribe, click on the website, click as well, and then come onto the competition page, and you've just won yourself 10 free tickets to win $2,000 worth of XRP. You can say you click on that and you say you've subscribed to Charlotte May Weddings. So you click on visit this page, and then you visited the weddings page as well. So click on both of them. You've earned yourself 10 tickets, but there's also plenty more tickets to win, such as subscribing to a newsletter, following us on X. So check it out. You can win with just one ticket. It's free to enter, free for all, or you can have more chance of winning by collecting all the tickets. So if you're ever in need of a wedding, or you know someone who does, check out one of our members, Charlotte May Weddings, for a lovely wedding in Greece or Spain. Yeah, we've got big news from Vertical. Vaz is going to come on and share that with us later. Let's get into the XRP price action. If you have just tuned in, please hit that like button. Please do subscribe. We are getting ready for the XRP ETF launch. I am going to give you some more information now. I apologize, still recovering from an illness, but we're good. This is going to be a good, fun day. So let's go back to our very own newsletter. Money comes first, then wedding comes, says Cena War. I love that. I love that. The first ever US spot XRP ETF, the Canary XRP ETF, ticker symbol. Take note of this. This is going to be fun. XRPC. Canary, XRP, very easy. XRPC launches this morning on the NASDAQ exchange, officially bringing XRP spot XRP into the US regulated markets. I'll tell you why that's so important in a second. The fund is issued by Canary Capital, and it holds real spot XRP tokens, and they're using Gemini and BitGo to custody that. The fee is it's low. I mean, if you're thinking in general of what some places charge, it's fairly low, but it's not the lowest. 0.5% fee. For most people, I know some people say not your keys, not your wallet, but if we just move away from that for a second and think like the big boys, institutions don't really want to have their own ledgers, and big shareholders just want to hold the stock. There's very low risk that Canary Capital goes under, and the fact that they're holding your XRP one for one, you're very safe. So for most people, they're going to have more risks having a ledger, sending money around, losing their ledger, losing their cold wallet, putting it in a fire, or you're getting burnt down, or getting scammed because you don't know what you're doing with a ledger or your cold wallet. Most people, it's worth paying the 0.5% fee to custody, for someone to custody their XRP, plus the advantages of potentially putting it in a pension plan and more tax efficient ISO or whatever your equivalent might be in the US, like in a Roth IRA. You can be buying that in your, again, this is not tax advice, but I'm just saying there's many reasons why buying it on the stock market is better. Institutions prefer that. Financial advisors will be able to recommend these products now. They wouldn't be able to recommend it when it's just a random thing on a ledger that's not on a stock portfolio. They can make money from it, so they will start recommending it as well. So don't be put off by this whole not your keys, not your wallet. Sorry, not your keys, not your coins, whatever the catchphrase is these days. Don't worry about that too much. There's nothing wrong with paying someone to look after your coins. But there is more better ones coming out. I think Bitwise will have a 0.35% fee, and that's expected to come out next week. But that's a bit more uncertain because the US shutdown is now ended. The SEC is going to come back. Are they going to move around that 20-day deadline? It doesn't really matter at this point. We've got our first one. This is going to set the precedent, and there's going to be more XRP ETFs to come. So there will be some competition, and competition is always great in the markets because they would want to bring their fees down. So 0.5% fee in general, it's not horrific, but there is expected to be more XRP spot ETFs with lower fees. But again, that's 0.5% fee over the year, so you can buy this one and then swap it into something else, and you would be paying a very small fee. That's my thought on the fees. Very low, but you're probably going to get a better deal for most people. Buying the ETFs better than storing the XRP themselves. Moving on. Higher than peers such as Bitwise at 0.34% product, but it's not out yet. XRP tracks the CCIX spot reference rate and settles under the 1933 Act, the same structure used by Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana ETF. So that is the way they do it. They have a reference. That's how they look at the price, and that's how they price their ETF. So that's the way they do it. That's the most normal way of doing it. That's how it's been going for years and years, and also how Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the Solana ETFs run as well. So everything's normal. This places XRP among the short list of US approved spot crypto products and comes ahead of other expected altcoin findings. We're looking at more but remember, we've already got our HBAR and Litecoin. We're expecting more HBAR and Litecoin ETFs to come out and more XRP ETFs to come out. For today's launch, liquidity benchmarks from prior ETFs we're looking at different benchmarks here. So the benchmarks are from prior ETF first days, provide this comparison set. So this is what I'm most excited to look at. When this ETF goes live in about an hour's time, I'll see if I can put a countdown on the clock. So what time does the market open? It's 2:30 UK time. So let me put a timer so everyone knows exactly when we're expecting this. Just give me one moment and I'm going to put a countdown on the screen so we all know when we are expecting this. So it's about 2, it's open. So let's put that on the screen. There we go. Let me title it as well. ETF live in. This is exciting. This is very, if you're excited, let me know in the chat, because this is a day we've been waiting for a long time. ETF is live. I can't believe it. Here we go. We would not expect this last year with the prior SEC. Here we go. So if you have just tuned in, we are watching the XRP ETF go live. That's a Canary XRP ETF. We are big XRP bulls here on the channel, but we're not blind. We know the risks. We know the upside. We know $1,000 XRP by the end of the year is not possible. We know $100 is not possible. We know $10 by the end of the year is very, 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 very unlikely at this point. We're not like other channels that are sponsored. We want to tell you the real news. So if you have just tuned in, you're watching us cover the XRP live, the XRP ETF live, go live. We're looking at the information before, how to, why it's so important that we're getting this XRP ETF, what we're going to compare it to, and what data we're going to get today that's going to tell us a lot going forward. But if you're expecting a 200% pump today, this is probably not a show for you. We are real investors here, and we want to see, we want the real news and information, unlike other X and YouTube channels. So it's launching in an hour and 17 minutes. We're going to cover it live. The fee is 0.5%. Very low. However, there is lower ones coming out. Most people, the ETF's better than holding the ETF, the XRP themselves. We've seen a Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum ETF, Solana ETF, Litecoin ETF, HBAR ETF. Now we're seeing an XRP ETF. But what's going to be important with the data we received today is what the liquidity and the volume is going to be today. I'm going to tell you if I think it's sell the news or if I think it's going to pump. However, what's more important is actually the data we get once the launch goes live. We're going to look at the volume. That means how many people are buying it, how many people are interested in it, how many institutions are buying it, and that gives us an idea of going forward, how popular is XRP ETF going to be. So for today's launch, liquidity benchmarks from prior ETFs, first days provide the comparison set. Bitcoin's ETF hit 4.6 billion in day one volume. That is amazing. That is, I think, the highest ever in an ETF launching history. That's IBIT's ETF. That was the highest. It's BlackRock's most profitable ETF currently, and I'm 99% sure it was the highest volume hit ever on the first day of an ETF launch. So that is not what we're expecting for XRP, because Bitcoin is, everyone looks at Bitcoin as the gold standard. Institutions, everyone wants a bit of Bitcoin. Not everyone knows about XRP yet. So we're not expecting 4.6 billion. I don't think we're going to get close to 4.6 billion in day one volume today. But we've got other comparisons. We've got Ethereum at 1.2 billion. Can we reach 1.2 billion? Most likely not. Ethereum hit 1.2 billion. Gold, when it first launched about 10 years ago, or maybe over 10 years ago, that hit 1 billion. Solana. So now let's look at the ones that launched a couple weeks ago. Solana hit 69 million. HBAR hit 28 million, and Litecoin hit 18 million. What I want to see is XRP's ETF to overtake Solana's ETF in day one volume. And we'll get a very good idea after the first 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours of the XRP launch if we're going to beat those numbers. So these are the benchmarks with XRP more institutionally popular than Solana, HBAR, and Litecoin. If it is, that's great. How much more popular is it? Are we coming up to 100, 200, 300 million, coming close to Ethereum? That will be the data we're looking for today, and then we can make some analysis based off that. So we like to look at the data here. We like to follow the money, and how better to follow the money than actually get the volume and the liquidity from day one. So we're going to look at those numbers. I'm going to give you those numbers again in a second. I've got some more of the numbers here as well. So I'll share some more numbers with you in just a moment. If you have just tuned in, please make sure you've hit that like button. Please make sure you subscribe. Jack said 3 digits by the end of the year if all 5 launch 4 digits. No, that's ridiculous. We're not getting $100 by the end of the year. If someone tells you that, that's just ridiculous. Okay, so these numbers will give us the yardstick for judging XRPC's opening hour and full session demand. That's what we're going to look for. The significance of a spot XRP ETF is that it finally opens XRP to the US financial system's deepest pools of capital. This is why today is monumental. This is why today is so important. Because today, the door opens to money, to big, big money. Where is the big money? Well, it's in the capital markets of the US. And that's what this door is opening to. So until today, institutions were structurally locked out. Fiduciary rules prevented Roth IRAs or retirement investment accounts, family offices, wealth platforms, pensions, endowments, retirement accounts from touching exchange-based crypto exposure. Brokerage-only investors, 401k custodians, and most advisory platforms had no compliant pathway to XRP. That is where 99% of the money is. It's not in the retail's hands, or it's not in just the general retail investors' hands. It's with all of these financial institutions. It's where the retirement investment accounts are. That's where a lot of money is. It is where these family offices are. These family offices that invest a lot of. They're these big sort of financial advisors that invest a lot of money, whether that's in the stock market or the crypto market. Family offices weren't able to invest in them. There was ways around it for family offices, but as a whole, there weren't really. Wealth platforms weren't listing crypto exchanges, but now they can list ETFs. Pensions, that's where like 80% of the money is. Pension funds wouldn't be holding XRP. Now, because it's an ETF, they can start adding it as a small potential percentage of a high-risk investor. If that's a younger investor, they will be starting to add a basket of cryptos in pensions. And then obviously the individual can choose how much, or if they have a financial advisor, they can choose to add more XRP as exposure. Endowments, retirement accounts, Roth IRAs, those could not touch XRP. Those could not buy XRP for the most part. Family offices did have a way of doing it, but as a whole, they could not have any real crypto exposure. Today, with the launch of an XRP ETF, they can buy it just like they'll buy a stock, just like they'll buy the S&P 500, just like they buy a Tesla, just like they buy any stock, gold, just like they buy anything like that. They can also buy XRP. So that really, really, really changes the game for XRP. A spot ETF removes every single one of those barriers all at once. XRP becomes allocatable in standard brokerage accounts. It becomes eligible for retirement wrappers. Remember, no one is getting tax advantages by just buying XRP and putting it in their ledger. There's no tax advantage. You have to pay capital gains at the highest rate. But now, here comes some tax advantages. So it becomes eligible for retirement wrappers and it becomes accessible. It wasn't accessible before. If they can't buy it, then there's no money flowing into it. Now it's available to buy it. So now it's accessible to firms that collectively oversee trillions of dollars. This is a door that's just opened to trillions of dollars. This door was not open. It was locked shut. Today, that door opens. Historical ETFs launches show that this kind of structural access, or what this kind of structural access can do. Bitcoin's January 2024 approval triggered over 15 billion of inflows in the first 10 days. That's what opening a door does. 15 billion, not million, 15 billion in the first 10 days. 10 days, 15 billion. More than 1 billion a day was flowing into Bitcoin after that door opened. Ethereum saw over 3 billion in the first month. And smaller assets like Solana and HBAR experienced concentration bursts of institutional liquidity. If a fraction of these flows migrate towards XRP, the long-term impact is transformational. Persistent buy-side demand, increased market depth, and a shift from speculative trading to systematic allocation. This is a massive day. Today is the first time XRP's true spot ETF trades inside US capital market machine. And remember, yes, we've had a Canadian one. Yes, we had one in Brazil. But these countries are nothing compared to the US. US is where the money is at. So it's the first time it trades inside the US capital market machine. The opening volume, the spreads, the net asset value premium will tell you instantly whether this is a niche altcoin debut or the start of a multi-year institutional liquidity cycle. And that's what we're going to be covering today in an hour and 8 minutes. We're going to be looking at the volume. We're going to be seeing how big of a launch this is. And we're going to be looking and extrapolating that data into the future to say, how big is XRP going to be in the future? And that's a data point we'll get today and we'll look at. So if you have just tuned in, hit that like button. Please do subscribe. If you want articles like this every single day in your inbox, we cover XRP, we cover Ripple, we cover some of the crypto market. Again, Ripple's sort of our favorite company and XRP is our favorite coin. We cover the general crypto market, such as the Genius Act, the Clarity Act. But we also cover the stock market, what's going on in the market. Are we in a recession? Are we in a bear market? We look at the data. Sometimes we do stock reviews. Today is all about Virgin Galactic because it's a high risk, high reward play, and they've got their earnings tonight. You get the economic calendar, you get the earnings, you get the charts of the day, you get one-on-one access to me, you get hopefully the portfolio journals launching by the end of this year. That's when I'll be showing exactly what my portfolio is. You're going to get more and more coming, all because of this newsletter. So if you haven't got this newsletter yet, there is a free plan, there is a paid plan, there is a monthly plan. This is how you get it. You press that link, first link in the description. It's also in the live chat right now. You click that link, it takes you to this page here. That link gives you a 7-day free trial. Try out the annual plan. It's a 7-day free trial, and once you're paying, it turns out to be $10 a month. That's about 30 cents a day for the best news ever. Remember, I subscribe to about 15 different news platforms, so I can get you the best news directly to your inbox, what matters to you guys. So check it out. Plus, you get all the other perks and benefits. There is a monthly plan. The monthly plan will be going up in price by the end of the month. So if you do prefer paying monthly, well, it might be a good time to go monthly. Founding members, we really do appreciate I think we've got 3 founding members, so thank you so much for the founding members. There's also a free plan, so there's no excuse. There's a plan for everyone. Go check out the newsletter. Let me come into your comments. Let's get ready for the ETF launch. Let's look at the XRP chart. Is it going to be sell the news? Is it going to be a pump all day? Well, what are we doing so far? We're up. We're up 4% today. Excuse me, I'm still trying to recover. One sec. Okay, so XRP is at sorry, I don't know what's going on. XRP's at $2.48 right now as we speak. I did do a video, and some of you are going to say, well, you said we're in a bear market. You said XRP is not going to hit $10. You said you were wrong. Well, are we going to have to bring out the whacker troll music because people don't listen to the whole video? Let's put on music. Is there any trolls here today? Is there anyone going to be trolling in the chat? Do we need to whack a few trolls? This is our whacker troll music. If any trolls come on, we'll whack you. Don't worry about it. Last week, I came out with a video. What was the video? Well, let me show you. I think I can bring it up for you. Let me see if I can. I talked about a bear market. I talked about I was wrong. There's not going to be a $10 XRP. But let me explain it again for anyone who didn't just watch the full video. Let me go over to exactly where we were. Then I'll talk about sell the news, buy the hype. Then I'll talk about what we're looking for exactly when it launches. Then I'll give you a recap of why today's launch is so important. So let me just go over to the Martyn Lucas channel. Remember, if you are subscribed, there is just a little button here next to subscribe. Make sure you have got your notifications turned on to all. You can be personalized or all. Make sure you're subscribed and you've got your notifications on because we cover all major events. Last week, I put out was it a live stream? I think it was a live stream. Over here, where was it? Where was it? Here it was. Ethereum. I put out this video here. I'll make sure that in the and I want to explain this to anyone who's still a bit confused or didn't watch the whole video. Where's it gone? I was wrong about XRP. The $10 XRP dream is over. Here's what I got wrong. So I put that video out. Again, my job is to put out a thumbnail and a title that reflects what the video is about, but also makes you click on the video so you can watch the show. So I did that perfectly. I said I was wrong about XRP. The $10 dream's over. In that video, I told you that about 6 months ago, when XRP had a perfect breakout, when the liquidity was there, I predicted that we would get I said there would be a 50% chance that this breakout, and there was a perfect triangle on XRP's chart, and I'll show you here. Where was it? It was on the bits. I'll just show you this triangle, and I'll tell you exactly what that was all about. Where was it? I apologize. I'm just trying to find. Yeah, here we go. So there was a big symmetrical triangle here, and then there was a breakout here. And I said there's a 50% chance after this breakout, we go to firstly all-time highs and then $10 XRP. It can happen. $10 in 10 days can happen with that breakout. And that, my view changed as soon as we got that double top and we failed to hold all-time highs. And I wanted to come out and tell you that I no longer think $10 can happen this year. I'm telling you that my prediction of a 50% chance, even though it was just a 50-50 prediction, I wanted to come out and tell you that don't be expecting a $10 XRP. Why was I saying that? What was the need of me coming out and saying, don't expect a $10 XRP? The real reason was because there's so many other channels out there telling you that there's going to be a $10 XRP, 100% confirmed. There's going to be a $100 XRP by the end of the year. There's going to be a $1,000 XRP in 2 years' time. I just wanted to bring you, the people that watch this channel, your expectations down. Because if you have expectations that XRP is going to hit $10 by the end of the year, even though I never said that's a 100% probability, I also always shared my exit strategy was selling at all-time highs, $4, $5, $7, and then potentially $10. If people are still putting out that narrative that there's going to be a $100 XRP by the end of the year and that there's no chance we're in a bear market, then you, the viewer, if you keep consuming that information, it's very natural for you guys to start thinking, oh, there's only 2 months left until the end of the year. I need to gather up every single penny I have because XRP is going to 4x or 10x in a month. People will start over leveraging. People will start remortgaging their house. And I'm not joking about that. People have done this before. They'll start remortgaging their house behind their wife's backs. They'll start selling all their assets. They will start doing stupid leverage just because they listen to YouTubers that say there's going to be a $100 XRP or a $10 XRP by the end of the year. I wanted to make it clear that I'm not in that camp. Yes, we sometimes have predictions. Yes, I put out that prediction of about potentially a $10 XRP in 10 days, only when the liquidity was there and only if the ETF launch would have propelled us. But that didn't happen, and I quickly told you why that wasn't going to happen. I never, ever at the time told you it was a very likely event either. I said it was a 50-50. And also, the other reason I put out this video is because people think that a bear market, when a bear market comes, it's very obvious. That it can't be further from the truth. Every single bear market, people will look back in 6 months' time and then they will say, actually, we're in a bear market. Or people can never seem to understand that we could be in a bear market today. Are we in a bear market? Are we not in a bear market? Well, I've said we're 55% chance we're in a bear market, 45% chance we're not in a bear market. But the other half of the video was telling you about we could be in a bear market. I'm not predicting a bear market. Just like I wasn't predicting us to go to $10, I was saying be prepared for $10, just like you should be prepared for 50 cents. This video was the same. Be prepared for a bear market. Be prepared for 80% down, but also be prepared for us to continue going up. And I just wanted to bring that idea out there of how to survive in a bear market, how to make money during a bear market, how to identify if we're going into a bear market, what's the early warning signs of a bear market, just so you guys are prepared. This isn't me being negative, me turning on my audience. This is me trying to protect my audience. So for those people that looked at that video and just thought, I'm an idiot, I'm calling a bear market, I'm wrong about everything, please watch the video and understand I never said a $10 is confirmed. In fact, I said be prepared for $10 because you don't want to lose out if we go to $10 and the liquidity is looking good at that time. A week later, I said we've got a double top and we're going back down, but I never said $10 is guaranteed. I just said be prepared for $10. Just like today, I would say the same. Be prepared for $10. We might not go into a bear market. We might get amazing liquidity flows into this ETF. We might get the shutdown situation completely end and no more 2.0. We might get amazing data coming out the US with inflation going down and unemployment being perfect. And we might continue this bull market and go to $10, $12, $13. Be prepared for that scenario. I'm not saying don't be prepared. I'm saying be prepared. But I'm also saying you can't just look at what other YouTubers are saying and just be euphoric all the time. Look at the other side of it and the bear market side of it. So just in case people are watching the show today and they thought I was bearish, I'm 55% think we're in a bear market, 45% think I'm in a bull market. It's so close. I'm not going to make major decisions based off each way. I'm going to stay invested, but also know exactly when I'm going to buy and make sure I'm not over leveraged in case we go to a bear market. Let's go back to XRP's price action. I did also say in that video, this is not a short-term prediction. I said as soon as we get back above $2.30, we're going to pump to $2.50, and that happened as well. So some people said XRP pumped the next day. Well, I expected XRP to pump as well. So there was quite a few trolls, and that's why we got the troll music here. Any trolls in the chat? We're going to come over to the chat in a second. Is there any trolls in the chat? Any trolls? A troll told me that I will hit $100. Not good. Any other trolls? I don't think so, not at the moment. Guys, sorry to be a downer. I love XRP and obviously I want it to rocket, but in reality, don't expect $50, 10, 100, 1,000 X's. In pure crypto economics, XRP's market cap is tiny compared to yeah, don't just think about random numbers. That's correct. I'm just looking at your comments. I'm going to come back onto the XRP chart, what I expect for today, what we're looking for, and why it's such a big deal. And why, if I think it's such a big deal, why am I not calling for a $10 XRP? I'll explain that as well, because I can understand why some people might think that way. You're so bullish on XRP, the door's opening to trillions of dollars. Why don't you think we're going to get $10 by the end of the year? Well, I'll tell you that as well. That's understandable. I don't mind trolls. I actually really don't mind trolls because I think everyone, when they join crypto, they're going to watch the wrong channel maybe, and then they're going to get overly euphoric, and they're going to think it's a get-rich-quick scheme, and they're going to fall for scams. So I don't mind trolls. As long as they want to engage in proper conversation and we can help the trolls, then the trolls are welcome on this channel. I love the trolls. But if they're going to get rude and start being threatening, then that's when we don't like the troll. So if you are a troll and you have questions, you're absolutely welcome to ask questions. Even the members of this show, the watchers of the show, if you have a question, please feel free to ask it. I'm not going to judge you based off your question. I'll actually like you guys to ask the questions so I can answer them for you. People will listen to YouTubers like Jake and over leverage and get wrecked. That's what we don't want to do. And the worst thing about it, I'm not calling out Jake or anyone here. A lot of these crypto YouTubers, crypto, firstly, is one of the most risky asset classes out there. Whether you think Bitcoin is going to be there in 30 years in the future and XRP is going to be $1,000 a coin in 30 years in the future, it's still very risky. It is one of the most volatile asset classes. Every bear market, we see 80% drops, and then we see 400% pumps, and then we see coins go to zero, and then we see rug pulls, and then we see Even exchanges like Binance basically rug pull their or have issues with depegging. So it is the most volatile asset class in the world. That's why I love it, because it means it's new. That means we're early. That means it's changing the world. However, these other YouTubers know how volatile it is, and then they tell you sign up to FEMX or the next big Bybit or whatever the exchange is. Get a $500 deposit, which is also all fake. Get a $500 deposit dollar bonus, and then leverage trade. They're telling you to leverage trade on the most volatile asset class. 99% of you will lose if you leverage trade crypto. I am an expert in chart analysis and trading. I rarely leverage trade crypto. I've been doing this for 7 years. I've been profitable. I know what I'm doing. I can control my emotions. And I still rarely do it. When do I do it? When I think we're very undervalued. For example, a few Fridays ago or a couple months ago when XRP dropped to $1.70, I went 2x leverage. I didn't go 10x. I went 2x leverage because I wanted to get as much XRP as I could on that exchange while that flash crash was happening. Fully aware that it could go lower. Fully aware of my risks. But these YouTubers are throwing out to every single one of their retail audiences, leverage trade, XRP's going to $100. That is the worst combination ever. If you ultimately think XRP is going to go to $100 and $10, and you think it's going to go there by the end of the year, you're just going to continue trying to get as much XRP as possible, but in the worst way possible because you go leverage. And as soon as XRP has liquidity scam wick or whatever goes down 50%, you're done. You're finished. Even if you're 2x, I'm very safe. 50% down, you're liquidated. So it's the worst combination, and that's how bad these YouTubers are. And they're perfectly entitled to it. They want to make a living. They want to make some money. They want to do it that way. They can do it that way. We don't do it that way on the channel. We do sponsorships for our very own members. We have our own newsletter. You can do super chats. You can be a member, and you can support the show. We don't want to make lots of money doing it that way. Martyn turns down $30,000 deals. So we're real here. So it's just crazy what you see out there. The key says, Jake is not your usual YouTuber. I'm not even talking about Jake. I think we've looked at Jake once on the channel. He has over 1 billion in XRP in an institutional custody with Anchorage Digital. He doesn't tell anyone to do the things Sensei is talking about. I'm not saying he does. I'm talking about YouTubers out there. Also, be very careful when you invest your money. Please do your research when you invest in anything, especially someone's firm or whatever it is. Leveraging brings health risks. It does. It's actually worse than that. People lose their lives based on what some channels do and tell them to leverage it. Is anyone else thinking it'll be sell the news before 2:30? Okay, let's have a look at the chart and see, is it going to be sell the news or not? Okay, so excuse me, just need a second to breathe. Somehow everything is blocked. So let's have a look. How many times have I said so in today's video? Let me know. Let's have a look at XRP's chart and where are we going today. Let me just give you my targets for a bear market and bull market, and then we'll go in between, because if we ultimately think XRP is going to go to $5, $10, $20, $30, $50, and potentially $100, which I do believe in all of them. Obviously, I believe in the lower ones more than the later ones. I think XRP can reach $50, $100 next cycle, depending on where we top out this cycle. If we've already topped out this cycle, maybe $30, $40 is more likely next cycle. But I do ultimately think XRP can go to, I think there's enough evidence, and we'll get some more evidence today after the ETF launch. And I might amend it after ETF launch, after we get the volume in 51 minutes time. I think there is enough evidence to suggest that XRP can go to $50 to $100 in the next 10 years, maybe next 5. So I think there's enough evidence to suggest that XRP can go to $10 this cycle. Maybe that's over now. Maybe it'll be in the next, maybe it's next cycle. But I think there's enough evidence to suggest that XRP can go to $10 in the next 5 years, $50, $100 in the next 10 years. Maybe those timelines will change based off if we are already in a bull market or if we're already in a bear market and what the volume is after today. But I'm fairly confident that $50 is very achievable. In the next 10 years, I think $10 is very achievable in the next 5 years. I think $50 could be achievable in the next 5 years as well, depending if we haven't topped out. If we go to $10 this year, then I'll be very confident in $50 to $100 next cycle. Anyway, these are quite big targets. These are $10, $50. In a normal financial institution, if you're looking at the S&P 500, you expect 10% returns a year. That would say that maybe in 7 years' time, you double your money. 7 years it takes you to double your money, and we're talking about potentially 4xing, 10xing your money in 5 years. So the returns are incredible for XRP, in my opinion. Again, it doesn't come without its risks. There's many risks. Don't take financial advice from me. Do your own research. So I think XRP is, in the next 5 years, will more than double. So that's a better investment to me than the S&P 500. And I think it can 10x, 5x in the next 7 years. Very easy. 5, 10, potentially 20x. So why the hell will I start leveraging and potentially lose out on the money that can 5, 10, 15x? There's no need to leverage trade, first of all. So please don't think leverage trading is the only way of getting rich. The crypto market is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It provides brilliant returns, but don't make yourself be your worst enemy by losing the money that can actually be life-changing. 5xing your money is amazing. You don't need to leverage trade to do more. So first, let's get that out of the way. And now let me give you my targets. This bull cycle, if it continues, and remember I've given you a 45% chance of that happening, here is the levels I'm taking profits. Let me give you a recap if you're new here. On this channel, we will buy XRP every time it hit 30 cents, every time it was below 40 cents, and we predicted everything to do with the SEC as well, completely correctly. We predicted the pump, we predicted the dump, we predicted that they will win, we predicted the crashes, everything like that. But let's just go back 2 years, and even a year ago we were buying it. But the last year to 2 year, every time XRP dipped below 40 cents, we would buy it. And every time it hit 30 cents, I'd buy some more because I thought that was the base, and that turned out to be the base. Last November, I said, get ready, altcoin season is upon us. What happened in November? We looked at the Bitcoin dominance chart. Bitcoin dominance was coming off a cliff, and we thought, okay, this is time to get into altcoins. So not only did I accumulate more XRP at that breakout point, around 56 cents above my average, because I was like, okay, now there might not be any more chances to get XRP ever again at 40 cents, 30 cents. We looked like we're at the breakout. We looked at Bitcoin dominance. We looked at Bitcoin. We looked at where we were in the cycle and deployed cash to XRP above those levels that I always was very disciplined. Every time below 40 cents, I'll buy. Every time below, at 30 cents, I'll buy. I broke that discipline because I said this might be the last chance. And it was literally the last chance. And we did it all live on the show. So go back. Go back. It's all as evidence on this channel. We don't delete anything. We bought XRP at 58 cents. Not only did I buy XRP, I bought other altcoins, Filecoin, a Flare, and I loaded up on altcoins, and they went parabolic. From that point, XRP went from 50 cents all the way up to $3 in a matter of a couple months. Absolute parabolic scenes. In less than 18 days, 400%. That's a 5x in 18 days. And we covered it live on the show. And I bought lots of altcoins. They did more. They did about 1,000%. And then I said, I'm selling some of my portfolio. Why did I say that? Because I was bearish or not? No, because I wanted to get my initial position out, or part of my initial position out for my other altcoins, some of my position out for XRP, because that was incredible gains. We then said a 50% drop is likely. Firstly, we said $2 is going to be support. It's going to firstly, after this big move up, we're going to find support, and we're going to have a correction. 30%, 20%, 25%. We're going to have a correction back down to some of these levels of support. It turned out to be around $2, we said. It went down to $1.91. I bought some more, and then we went on our next run up to $3.40. I offloaded some more of my XRP position I bought down here and started to basically get rid of my initial position that I invested, so I'm risk-free at this point. Then we said on this channel, and this was a very unpopular opinion. Everyone hated us for this opinion. We said, there's going to be a 50% crash. This is not just going to go to the moon straight away. We're going to have to have a 50% crash. We're going to reset. It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. We went on this downtrend. We went from $3.40 down to $1.61. That was a 52% correction. We got it spot on. We bought again at $2. We bought again at 170, and we went on our next run. And then this is where we said, okay, we could potentially hit $10 on this next run because we're going to break out of all-time highs. We're going to hit all-time highs. This could be the chance of $10 or new all-time highs. 50% chance. Get prepared for the upside, but be prepared for the downside as well. We had a beautiful break. We didn't hit $10. That's the first thing we were wrong about this cycle. But again, were we wrong about it when we only assigned a 50% chance to it? I don't think so. But you can say we were wrong. It's fine. Now we are in a downtrend. Now we're putting in lower lows, lower highs. We've been targeting $2 for a while now. I'll buy more at $2 as well if we get there. But the targets are for the bull market. If the bull market is going to continue, $4.50, $5.40, $8.75, $12, and then in a really euphoric period, but we're not going to get it anymore. We had some higher targets as well. Let me actually go on to our main. It might differ slightly, our main chart, but it's pretty much the same. Yeah, $4.50, $5.30, $6.30, $7.40, $8.51, and $11. And my plan is to take about a 20% out at each of those levels. That's if the bull market comes. There is my targets. You know exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for $100, $20, $50. Those are my targets. Maybe I'll keep a 10% moon bag in case we just go euphoric and I was wrong about everything and XRP tomorrow replaces the whole financial institutions. On the bear market side, we're looking at $2 as the first level of support. Remember, I don't buy every 5% dip. If I sell every 5% we go up, then I'll have no profits in case we go up a lot and go to $5, $10. If I buy every 5% we go down, well, I'm not going to have any money to buy it in case we drop a lot. So my targets are very clear. $2, $1.80, $1.71. These are all sort of if the bull market continues. That's why they're so close together. I'm not going to be buying 20% at each of these. I might buy 10% at each of these levels. Or I might buy a specific amount at each of these levels. These are very close together, but I like to buy these levels and have limit orders in case the bull market continues. If it doesn't, then I've got two more targets. I've bought at those levels. I'm still holding majority of my position. I don't need to buy a whole lot more. But if we go down to 110, I'll buy some more. If we go down to 64 cents, I'll buy some more. And if we go down to 50 cents, I'll buy some more. That's my bear market covered. You might say that's crazy. We're never going to go back down there. I'm not saying we are going to go back down there. I'm just saying I've got limit orders set up in case we do go down there. I will buy more. I'll be happy we've gone down. I'll be happy we're not in a bull market because I've had more time to accumulate at prices we might never ever see again for XRP. In the same sense, people called me crazy when I said I've got limit orders always set up for $1.70, $1.80, $1.97. We went down from $2.83 one day. That was a few Fridays ago. We went down 50% in one day. My limit orders got filled. Some of them did. The 170, yeah, all those limit orders got filled. Nothing at 150 got filled, but 171, 183, 197 all got filled. Some of them were leveraged. The next day I sold them when we were up 50%. So you might think it's impossible we go down. It can happen in a day. It happened in a day. We went down 50% in a day. If that happens again, we can see $1 on XRP. So be prepared for these scenarios. Don't just think that's the only scenario, but be prepared for it. So now I've told you where I would buy if it's a bear market, or if we're going to continue the bull market, we can still go down to 171 and continue the bull market, and where I would sell in a bull market, where I would buy in a bear market, where I would sell in a bull market, and where I would buy in between. Now let's go into the shorter timeframes. Those are the timeframes that matter. A proper bear market, proper bull market, but I'm sure some of you want to know about the day-to-day, which is exciting to keep a look at, eye out on. We might get some good deals day-to-day, but it's certainly not as important as looking at the bigger picture, because if you're so concentrated on the smaller picture, the daily chart, the 1 hour chart, you're going to make emotional decisions. You're going to lose track of what you're actually investing for, and you're probably going to lose before you can even make money in the bull market. But if you've got discipline and you understand what you're doing, then let's have a look at the smaller time frames. $2.30 was very important for us. We fell below it. We were slightly bearish. We got back above it. I said if we go back above $2.30, then we'll keep an eye out for $2.60, $2.50. We hit $2.50. We got close to $2.60. Right now, we're in the middle of no man's land. $2.50 is this sort of level of resistance. Below it, we're looking at $2.30. Below $2.30, we're looking at $2. Above $2.50, we're looking at $2.62. $2.62 is a really strong level of support for us. If we get above $2.62, then I'll be 55% in support of a bull market, 45% in support of a bear market. Because above $2.62, we can start targeting $3, and above $3, we're looking at all-time highs. So right now where we're sat, we're below $2.50. Below $2.50, we're targeting $2.30 as support. Above $2.50, we're targeting $2.62. Above $2.60, we're bullish for a bull market. Below $2.30, we're bearish for a bear market. So that's what we're looking at right now. Is it going to be a sell the news? Is it going to be a pump? Well, it's an interesting one because not many people had time to prepare for this. We didn't know 100% if it's going to come out because of this US shutdown. So sell the news or pump, pump, pump. What's it going to be? Well, we've got a poll running in the chat. What do you guys think it's going to be? 821 votes. And unfortunately, the way these things normally go is you look at the sentiment of people, and it's normally the other way around. So we've got a poll running right now. What an amazing day. Question is it the sell the news event or is it pump, pump, pump? 60% of you say it's a pump, pump, pump. That makes me think if the market wants to make money and flush people out, and the market always wrecks both sides, and the market always wins, well, it will want to get rid of the people that think it's pump, pump, pump. Why? Because that's the majority. And we can extrapolate the data we've got in front of us here because of this YouTube channel and the 838 votes and say that's probably the view of many XRP holders around the world. So maybe the market will want to flush them out. Maybe it's more likely to be a sell the news event. However, data can change this. Data can change this. The financial institutions are going to be looking at how much volume there is out there. And retail will be keeping an eye out for, and that's what we're doing today, and we're going to be the first ones to do it. How much volume is this XRP ETF going to bring? Because this is now institutions talking. Is it going to be more? And we really hope it is. Otherwise, it might be a proper sell the news. Is it going to be more than the HBAR, Solana, and Litecoin ETFs from a couple of weeks ago? If it is, or was it last week? Yeah. If it's going to be less volume than them, then actually the interest for XRP is less than those altcoins. Well, that's not very good. And then we can have a sell the news, or at least it won't look very good on launch day. If it's way above Solana and it's approaching Ethereum day one volume, and I'll explain that in a second again, then we can pump. So the data can change it, but just based off the poll we've got running now and previous events, I'll be swaying towards it's going to be a sell the news event. The thing that's different is not many people have time to prepare for this. XRP was undervalued and maybe it can pump. So my prediction of whether it's a sell the news or a pump doesn't really matter. We will follow it and we'll look at it for entertainment purposes. And we will also look at the levels in case each of them come out, whether it's a $2.30 or $2.60, and we can keep an eye on it. Either way it is. But I don't want to be putting out a short-term price prediction in all honesty, because it doesn't really matter. That doesn't align with my investment thesis. If I had to guess, I'll say sell the news based off that poll. But once we get the data can change that and we can see how close. Because I think my prediction would be we're going to be higher than the Solana, HBAR, and Litecoin ETF. But by what degree, I think that will make the difference on whether XRP pumps or not. I'll explain that to you in a second again. We're very close to this ETF launch. Let me get a few of the ETF. We've got some Bloomberg analysts that will be commenting throughout this, so let me get them up and ready. Leave me your comments right now. Let me go into it. We've got big eVTOL news as well that Vaz will be covering later on in the show, later on in the on the channel. Vertical Aerospace. This is Vaz's tweet on X. Vertical Aerospace, congratulations. It beat Archer Aviation for the second time for the fraction of the cost for both market-leading companies coming to the final phase of pilot testing. Cannot wait to see the footage. This is Vertical's test pilot Paul Stone flew the first flight of transition testing at 10:11 a.m. GMT. So congratulations to Joby and Vertical Aerospace. There's going to be an announcement on the show later. This is a new sector of investing. eVTOLs, keep an eye out for Vaz coming on live. Let me go back to your questions. Let me get the numbers ready for the big launch coming soon. If you have just tuned in, make sure you have hit that like button and make sure you have subscribed. Okay. Let me get a few things ready so we can have everything up and running. Please hit that like button and subscribe. Gonna have all the numbers ready. XRPC, remember that is going to be the ticker symbol. Let's get all the data ready for that as well. I'm just going on the NASDAQ exchange. What's everyone saying? The only thing XRP now needs a parabolic run. Yeah, well, it doesn't really need anything, really. It'll be nice to see a parabolic run, but don't hold your breath for it. Okay, here is the XRPC ETF. We're getting all the data ready for the launch. Very exciting. Here is the numbers from last time round with Solana, HBAR, and Litecoin. Here is our newsletter with some more information. Let me open up another tab for XRPC. When that comes live, XRPC. Oh, it's already there on TradingView. XRPC is ready to go. We're going to have the volume on the right. This is going to be very, very fun. Here we go. That's XRPC. Let me get rid of that. Okay, we're 34 minutes away. Let's have a look at your comments. I think it'll be reasonable to see XRP all-time high before a dump. I'd say be prepared for both. Question: what cold storage device do you use, and why should we use such a device? Well, it was much more important, in all honesty, about 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. The later back you go, the more important these devices were. Essentially, you hold your private keys, and no one can really hack you because it's off air. What do I use? Ledger, but I've heard there's better devices out there, but I use a Ledger. But these days, with exchanges like Coinbase, KuCoin, no, maybe not KuCoin, but like exchanges like Coinbase, Kraken, Robinhood, you're pretty safe on those exchanges. And I've seen people move money to ledgers just only to be scammed. So sometimes exchanges are safe. Depends how much money you have and what your risk tolerance is. But with the introduction of these ETFs, most people, it's better to get the ETF. How much volume was the HBAR ETF? I'll give you that information now. Good question, Jig. XRPC launch at $38. Launch at $38 to $32. I don't know what you mean by that. Please tell us your day jobs, and that will be defunct when rich. What are you gonna? I love it. Setting my buy for 237. Nice. I will say this unless you do your research on them and have all the information before proceeding. Stick to what you know. Kraken says we always have sell the news. Well, that's the idea of sell the news. If everyone's anticipating something, it's going to be sell the news, and that's what we always have it. That's because it's already priced in, and it happens, and the market dumps. Remember, I always said the week before an ETF launches, we're going to pump, and again, we have pumped into this. I'm a clockmaker and a gardener. Oh, that sounds lovely. A clockmaker. Do you enjoy your job? Do you want to quit it if XRP pumped? God King says, I'm going to $2. It's going to $2. Nobody knows. I don't like it when people say it's going to $2 or it's going to $10. You don't know. Maybe both of them are going to happen. What's going to happen first? Are you prepared for both scenarios? There's no point giving out these random predictions of it's 100% going to go to this level. It's 100% going to go to this level. Are you prepared for both? We could have fun predictions for sure, but yeah, no one's 100% certain of anything. And if someone says they are, then they're wrong. And don't trust them. Dark Robert says, morning, Tangent wallet for the win. I've heard a lot about Tangent. MDL, lovely to have you here. You're still not a member. You've been here every single day. First person to show every single day. I don't know what's going on. Nunya, 7 ETFs in the next 14 days will bring bear market. Yeah, definitely could. Doesn't mean... Look, an ETF coming out doesn't mean the moon. Doesn't mean parabolic. It doesn't mean it's gonna 100% pump to the moon. That's not the point of an ETF. The reason I'm so excited about this ETF is firstly, we're going to get some data about what the institutions think of it. Secondly, the amount of money that can flow into this is incredible. We've just opened the doors, and I think it's time to recap for anyone new who's just come in why today is so important. It's not about today's price action. This is a watch party. This stream's going to go down in history because we're going to look back on it in 5 years and say what enabled the price of XRP to be $20, $50, $10 is this day today, this ETF day. So let me recap this again from our very own newsletter. Check it out. First link in the description. It is also in the live chat. 1 week free trial. You get all the news for the day. We do all the research. Clear sources are there, not fake. No sponsorship, no ads. Charts of the day, one-on-one chats with me. You can get it all part of the newsletter. Today we did a story on today. The XRP's first US spot ETF launches today. This is the most important moment for XRP since 2017 because 2017 was a crazy time. If you were invested in XRP in 2017, wow. So the first ever US spot XRP ETF, and today it's going to be the Canary XRP ETF, XRPC. Remember, we've had other ETFs, but they've been leveraged, they've been holding ETPs, they've been in Canada, they've been in Brazil. They've not been in the US, and they've not been true spot ETFs. And remember, the US is the biggest market. It launches this morning on the NASDAQ. We've got it ready for you over here. We're looking at the NASDAQ exchange as well. The fund, the fund is issued by Canary Capital. It holds real XRP tokens, so they're actually buying XRP. They're taking away from the supply of XRP. And it's going to be held via Gemini and Bitcoin as custodies. The fee is 0.5%. It's fine. Not too high, not massive. But it's not the best. If Bitwise launches, it looks like it's launching with 0.35. So I don't know if I'm even showing you this. It's launching with a 0.34. That's what Bitwise is launching with. So maybe a few weeks from now, we might be able to switch over to Bitwise. It might be better. Just like normal procedures, the XRPC, which is going to be on the stock market, is going to track the CCI Expa spot reference rate, just like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana do. This places XRP among the short list of US approved spot crypto products and comes ahead of more expected launches. For today's launch, liquidity benchmarks from prior ETF first days provide the comparative set. This is what I'm excited to see, more data. We know there's an ETF coming out. We know it might be sell the news. We have our targets for the bull market, bear market. What important information as investors can we look at that not everyone else will be looking at, or that will set the tone or give us more insights and give us more data? Well, it's going to be this specific bit of data. It's going to be the volume from other launches: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Litecoin, HBAR, gold. We're going to take the volume and see how interested are institutions in this. How much are they buying? What's the volume? How much are they trading? So that's what we're going to be looking at in 27 minutes time and throughout the day. For today's launch, liquidity benchmarks from prior ETF first days provide the comparative set. We're going to look at Bitcoin's ETF because that hit 4.6 billion in 1 day volume. We're not going to get anywhere near that, but we can understand, we can start comparing it. Ethereum hit 1.2 billion. We're probably not going to hit that, but we can compare it. Gold hit 1 billion, but that was a very long time ago. Now it's the ones that launched last week. Solana with 70 million, HBAR with 28 million, Litecoin with 18 million. Let me just confirm those numbers with Eric, who give these out. So, what was it? Well, his predictions were 52 million for BSOL, 8 million for HBAR, and 7 million for Litecoin. I'm trying to see what the last. Let me go to Eric and go to that October the 28th, and we'll get all those numbers for you. He is the Bloomberg analyst, specialized in ETFs, so we'll be covering him throughout the day as well. October the 28th is when these launch. Let me go to October the 28th. He tweets a lot, so this might take 5 seconds. Bear with me. We just want to get all the numbers. Here we go. Um, so the day after, B-Sol did more volume on day 2. So yeah, they did 72 million on day 2. So it was a bit lower than that. Yeah. So Solana's day 1 was 70 million. Day 2 was 72 million volume. H-bar, do we have any information here about H-bar? H-bar did 8 million and 1 million. Let me just get that right. Yeah, the numbers are slightly different, but essentially Solana did about 70 million, H-bar and Litecoin did around 20 million. We want to beat all those numbers. We want to beat 72 million. Well, essentially we want to beat 72 million because Solana was the biggest launch a couple of weeks ago, with around 70 million. Day 1 was 69 million. Day 2 was 72 million. We want to be above Solana. We want XRP. We want to see that institutions prefer XRP to Solana. And if they do, how much more do they prefer it to Solana, and how close can we get to Ethereum and Bitcoin? So those numbers that we receive, we'll extrapolate that data, and then we can give some more predictions on where XRP is going. These numbers give us the yardstick for judging XRPC's opening hour and full session demand. And now we get on to why XRP's ETF is so important. And for everyone who wants to give predictions of the day or is expecting a big pump or a big dump, we might get a dump, but we'll sell the news. We might get a pump because the numbers are really good. But that's not why today is a monumental day. Today is the most important day, potentially in XRP's history, because this is the first spot XRP ETF in the US that finally opens XRP to the US financial system deepest pools of capital. Until today, institutions were structurally locked out. The door was closed. They couldn't be part of this. They were locked out to fiduciary rules that prevented IRAs, family offices, wealth platforms, pensions, endowments, and retirement accounts from touching exchange-based crypto exposure. Brokerage-only investors, 401k custodians, and most advisory platforms had no compliant pathway to XRP. A spot ETF removes every single one of those barriers all at once. All at once. It happens as soon as it goes live. XRP becomes accountable in standard brokerage accounts. Allocatable in standard brokerage accounts. It becomes eligible for retirement wrappers. How massive is that? Think about how big the retirement accounts are in the US. That's probably one of the largest areas of capital. And they've got tax advantages. And they also become accessible to firms that can collectively oversee trillions of dollars. This isn't something that's all going to happen on day one. That's why I'm saying don't think the pump is going to happen on day one. This is going to happen naturally based off XRP being removed from exchanges and based off the sentiment, the bull runs, and based off how well XRP's ledger is going to work and how much people use it and what Ripple does and other companies do. So over time, what today has done, not every single financial advisor is going to go out to their client and say, you need a bit of XRP. Today, not every single person around the world is going to look in their retirement account and say, oh, XRP, I might buy some. Or every single family office is going to go in and say, today's main meeting of the day is, let's buy some XRP. That doesn't happen in a day. That's why I'm not saying XRP can go parabolic. It doesn't happen in a month. It doesn't happen in 2 months. It doesn't happen in 3 months. It doesn't happen in a year. This happens over time. And over time, the supply is being taken away from how much XRP is on exchanges, how much XRP is circulating. The supply keeps being chipped at because everyone over time starts to understand how great of an asset XRP is, how much they have to be exposed to it. There's going to be some people that research it and some account managers and some financial advisors that say, buy some Bitcoin, buy some Ethereum, buy some XRP, or buy some more XRP because XRP we think is really good. There's going to be some individuals that want to buy XRP in their retirement accounts and they're going to go out, do some research on XRP and buy it because they believe in XRP. And there's also just going to be the typical investor, the typical hedge fund that goes, we want crypto exposure for our clients. Clients are requesting it. We want funds with crypto exposure. And they'll just pile in a bit of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, some of the top 5 cryptos. It's going to be in there. And some people won't even know what XRP is, but they're going to be buying it with their pension fund. And what today has done, it allows that to happen. So this isn't a one-day thing. This is a long-term thing. And it essentially opens the doors to trillions of dollars. This is basically a separate use case to like what Ripple and everyone else is doing about cross borders and accumulating XRP for liquidity and everything like that. This is just people wanting exposure to XRP, and that in itself can bring a lot of exposure to XRP and bring XRP's price up. Historical ETFs launches show what type of structural access, what this kind of structural access can do. Remember, Bitcoin is just a random asset people like to hold. It's not a payments token. It's terrible at payments. It doesn't do anything. It's slow. It's old. It's boring. But it's still brought in so much money, and it's still worth trillions of dollars just because people want exposure to crypto. The same can happen with XRP. Plus, there's going to be companies all around the world accumulating XRP because they want to use what it was built to do. So it's actually better for XRP than what it was for Bitcoin. And it's the same with these treasury companies like Evernorth. They're going to be buying the XRP. They're going to be earning yield on the XRP. They're going to be using the XRP. There's going to be companies such as Vivo Power and Weebus. They're buying XRP so they can make their company more efficient. So they're buying it as a treasury asset, plus they're using it. So that's why it's a little bit actually more valuable than Bitcoin. But obviously the world doesn't see it that way, at least yet, because Bitcoin is the number one. So historical ETF launches show what kind of structural access, what this kind of structural access can do. Bitcoin January 2024 approval triggered over $15 billion of inflows in the first 10 days. Ethereum saw over $3 billion in the first month. And even smaller assets like Solana and HBAR experienced concentrated bursts of institutional liquidity. If even a fraction of these flows migrated towards XRP, the long-term impact is transformational. Persistent buy-side demand, increased market depth, and shift from speculative trading to systematic allocation. Today is the first time XRP's true spot ETF trades inside the US capital market machine. And boy, is it a machine. The opening volume spreads from a NAV premium, and NAV premium will tell you instantly whether this is a niche altcoin debut, and that's why we're going to be looking at the volume, or the start of a multi-year institutional liquidity cycle. So that's what we're here to witness today, and that's why today is not important, but the general picture is important. We're going to be looking at a few things. Don't know what that comment was about. So if you have just tuned in, make sure you've hit that like button. Make sure you have subscribed. Please do understand we don't take corporate sponsors. We are sort of self members are what keeps us going. So please do consider getting the newsletter as well, because that helps a lot, whether you do the free trial. That was all in the newsletter. I'll give you sort of a rundown of the newsletter as well. If this is what you get in your inbox every day. If you don't want it in your inbox, you don't have to have it in your inbox. You can have it on the app. You can have it on the webpage. It's very customizable how you get it. Every single day, you get the top stories at a glance. So within a second. I mean, look how powerful that is. You open your email, you're on the tube, or you're on the subway, or you're going to work, or you've got 5 seconds. You read every single headline. UK GDP is down, or maybe recession indicator. US shutdown ends after 43 days. However, there's a shutdown 2.0 potentially coming up. Starbucks workers strike. Oh, do I own any Starbucks? Is that going to affect it? GoPuff valuation. Oh, that's an interesting story about a new startup. Let me see what that news article is about. The XRP ETF is launching today. Let me read more about that. Virgin Galactic faces a binary outcome with no revenue and mounting losses. Success hinges on Delta class. Oh wait, it's the Virgin Galactic earnings tonight. Let me have a look at my positions. What is the latest about that company? Well, you can look at it from a glance, and then you can see the one big thing. You can have a market snapshot. Then you can go through each of those stories, the ones that are important to you, or all of them, if you want to understand the markets a bit more. Understand, what do I mean by another standoff looms of 4.0? Well, a 2.0. Well, there might be another one coming up. Starbucks story is there. The GoPuff story is there. The XRP story is there. You then got your deep dive every day, whether that's macro XRP story, whether it's a Ripple story, whether it's a new crypto we're looking at. We don't really look at new cryptos at this point of the cycle because it's not the time to be looking at them. But we have previously in the cycle, whether it's data coming out, whether it's a big story about are we heading into a recession or not. Today was about Virgin Galactic because their earning is coming out. It's a very, very important earnings for Virgin Galactic. We're going to be covering it live on the show after the closing bell tonight. Baz will be covering it, so stay tuned with him. We have a lot of investors here. If you've not kept up with it, go read the newsletter today because you can see why it's a good risk to reward play, what the risks are, what's good, what to look out for in the earnings today, keep you updated about 2026, 2027, what's happening, the debt refinancing. Then you can see the earnings calendar. Then you can see the proper calendar of the week as well. You've also got the chart of the day today is on SBCE. You get that every single day in your inbox, and it does not stop there. That's one thing you get. That's literally one of the things you get. You get your Saturday newsletter from Vaz about eVTOLs, new emerging markets. You get one-on-one access with me, so you can direct message me any time of the day on that. You've also get access to the community with the thread, so you can ask a question, the community can jump in, and I can jump in. I'm soon going to be bringing out the Sensei Investing Journal, so I'm going to start doing an investment portfolio, showing it live on the show. Not as an alert. I'm not doing alerts. I don't like people when I do alerts. I'm just giving you the full reasons of why I'm investing, every stock I'm buying. If I'm doing the research, I might as well share that research with you. So that's coming soon by the end of the year, I imagine. So you can see exactly what I own, why I own it, and the analysis behind every single one of those moves. You can go back to every single deep dive previously. So lots of perks, benefits. There's actually going to be more coming. I'm working on an app. I don't want to give too much away, but put it this way, you can... I don't want to give too much away. It's a very, very important app that people spend hundreds of pounds a month for, that I'm going to bring, working with someone to bring it as part of the newsletter. The price of the newsletter might go up, but if you're one of the early members, and we've only done this newsletter for the last 6 months, and we've been doing it every day, if you're one of the people that have been part of the first 6 months, you're going to get it for absolutely no increase in cost. The new people I might hear about this next year, it might be a lot more expensive at that point. The monthly plan, however, is going up in price at the end of the month. So if you want to join, just test it out. You press that link right now. That gives you a 1 week free trial. Try it risk-free for a week on the annual plan. You get everything I talked about. You get the same on the monthly plan. Again, that's going to go up in price, but if you're already on it, it's not going to increase in price. So you can get it for $14 a month on the monthly plan, and that won't go up. I think that's going up to $19, $20 at the end of this month. The annual plan, you can get the 7-day free trial. Again, you'll be stuck on that price. You're never going to go up in price. Founding members, if you want to support the show a bit more. And also, if you don't want to pay anything, you just want to get a glimpse into it, maybe get those initial, the first part of the newsletter every day, which everything at a glance, where you can do it for the newsletter. There's some exclusive offers and stuff there sometimes. So you might as well be part of the new, the free tier as well. So that everyone should be subscribed to one of the tiers. Okay, so let's get ready now. I'm going to give you that link. It's the first link in the description. Everyone should go do that. 13 minutes. Do we have a countdown clock? I don't think we've got the countdown. Do we have any music we can put on in the background? Here we go. 13 minutes. Countdown started. Here is the XRPC chart. We're waiting for that to trade. Remember, we're going to get the volume information, which will tell us a lot about what the institutions are doing. This is on NASDAQ. The XRPC is the ETF we have. We're going to keep refreshing this for when it comes up. Oh, here we go. We've got some information. Let's turn that music off. This is just refreshed as we speak. 26. Oh, we've got some bids coming in. The volume's at 12. What's that? That must be in millions, right? Is it already at 12 million? What is going on? It's already live. The bid is at $26. Ask is at $26.65. Right, okay. This volume... What's this volume going to be in? Let me just do a quick bit of research. Wow, we've already got some data coming out. Let's put on our favorite song, because this is going to be a day to remember. The most important day in XRP's history. I'm going to do some research, get you the numbers, and we're going to go live with the launch in 11 minutes. Let's put our favorite song on. Oh, let's do it again. Is everyone pumped?
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Let me know if you're pumped in the chat. getting confirmation on what that volume is. Is it millions or not? We're having a look now. Okay, that's shares. That looks like it's the shares. Okay. Okay, I think I've got the answer. So, what we've got here, again, today's launch is all about the volume. How much are institutions buying this? What's the volume? What's the excitement around it? Is it more than the Solana ETF that we got last week? That will give us a great indicator, and we can extrapolate that data to see how popular is it to the institutions, because today's the real first test of how much institutions are interested in it. So we're looking at the volume, and we've just got this number up here. So I've just confirmed that this number is the amount of shares. Man, this song is terrible. Sorry, this is our channel song. You can't hate on the song. This is the amount of shares that have been traded. So there's about 13,000 shares already traded. So if we do the maths on that, the shares are at $26. So we're looking at about 350,000 already, and the market's not even open. $350,000 worth of shares traded. If we try to compare it, Solana did 72 million on day 2, about 69 million on day 1. HBAR did 8 million on day 1, and 1 million Litecoin did on day 1. So, are we looking good? I think we're looking good. The market's not even open yet. The market's not open yet, and we've already got nearly 500,000 traded. So, I think we're looking good. This is what we're going to keep an eye on. Let's keep an eye on here as well. I'm going to keep an eye on Eric as well, because he is got some insights from the Bloomberg terminal. One day I will have the Bloomberg terminal. Oh, sorry. Let me turn that off. One day I will have the Bloomberg terminal. But right now it's about 20 grand, 30,000 a year. So can't do that right now. I said every single penny I earn from the newsletter and from the show, I will reinvest to keep bringing you better data, and better experience. Of course, there was going to have to be I've saved up a lot over the last few years so I can do this full time and still survive. But I'm excited to bring you all that data. But right now we have to rely on Eric, who's actually from Bloomberg, and he will give us the data as we go. So let me bring Eric's X on. We're about 9 minutes away from launch. This is going to go down in history as one of the best days for XRP. This is going to be one of the this is incredible. Okay, let me go over to Eric as well over here. Let's see if he's made any comments yet. Okay, getting everything prepared for you guys. What's everyone saying? Let's go. Someone's saying market's weak, Nasdaq broke under. It doesn't really matter what the market's doing. Today is all about XRP. 30,000 shares at 26 is, what is that, 30,000 now? That's at 13,000. Not 30,000, is it? No, it's at 13,000 right now. Evernorth has confidentially filed its Form S4 for the merger of Armada Corporation, ticker symbol XRPN. Yeah, we're expecting that IPO next week. Let me get... Okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. I told you, Eric tweeted 20 seconds ago. 20 seconds ago, here we go. Here we go. This is Eric's tweet from 24 seconds ago. This is what we're waiting for. This is time for predictions, guys. Time for predictions. You guys can participate as well. So it's time for the XRPC day 1 volume predictions. I'm going with 17 mil is what he said. What do you got? Winner gets a retweet and pride. So, what do we think, guys? He says 17 million and he's the expert. Let's go through some of the data previously. So right now already, we're looking at around close to 500,000. Not there yet, but about 500,000. Previously, Solana did 72 million. HBAR did 8 million and Litecoin did 1 million. What do you guys think? We need some predictions in the chat. A couple weeks ago, HBAR did Solana did around 70 million, HBAR did about 8 million, and Litecoin did about 1 million. Give me your predictions, and then I'll tweet to Eric. Can we do a poll? No, we can't. we are covering this live. Let me give everyone the link to it. I'm going to go to your prediction and then we'll pick one and see if we get it right. We are covering this live. We predict, and then I'll put that there. You can DM me to one in the show. Love to have you on. Okay, now we need to do our prediction, guys. So what's everyone predicting? Let me change the poll, and we need to do a prediction altogether on the release. So this is, we've already got some data. What's the volume going to be on day one? So let me close the poll and get a new poll so everyone can have their chance to think. So let's make a vote. I'm going to choose the numbers, and then you guys can see which one is the closest. So I'll pick some numbers out as well. So how do I do this? Let's add a poll. Volume. So this is the full day. Volume day one. Guys, and this is the ETF expert has gone with a lower number than I expected. He says 17 million. This is Eric. He says 17 million. So we have to take that into account. He is the expert here. So if he says 17 million, I will be a bit more optimistic. I think probably closer to 30 million. I'm going to put some of your suggestions in. Someone says 300 million, 500 million. That's just ridiculous. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Someone says 21 million. Who says that? That was Turbo Aimer. Some members. I need some members. Revved up biker. I'm not doing 500. Some members. We need some of your numbers. Nothing too crazy, please. Human Being says realistic. Yeah, we need some realistic predictions here. Craig says 28. Let's do 28. We need one more. One more realistic one. It's not going to be... Okay, should we do one above what that one was? What Solana was? 72 million. So let's do one for 72 million. Now you guys get to vote. And we'll have to do some sort of average of what everyone thinks. Here we go. Okay. The poll is up. I'd say 30 million. Let's have a look. 21 million is what most of you are going for now. Not terrible. Is that what he said? Oh no, he said 17. 21 million. We could get it right, guys. 21 million could be the right one. 2 minutes until the ETF launch. Here we go, guys. Smash that like button. We're just guessing on the volume. Why are we guessing on the volume? Because the volume is the most important part. Why is it the most important part? Because today is the day that the doors open to the financial institutions. The institutions, let's see how much money they're going to be trading on XRP, the spot ETF. That'll give us a good idea going forward how much they're going to be, how it compares to the other ETFs such as Bitcoin, Solana, HBAR, Litecoin, Ethereum, and gold. Then we can extrapolate the data and give us a good idea. We're 1 minute and 50 seconds away now. We've just given you a full breakdown in our very own newsletter. Every single day you get this newsletter. Go and check it out. We've talked about our sponsor for our $2,000 giveaway, which I'll tell you more about later, but this is Charlotte May Weddings. So if you need a wedding in Greece or Spain, check this out. They're very great members of this channel, so not corporate sponsors. We only take members as sponsors, and they've got Charlotte May Weddings there. Check out their website, check out their YouTube channel. This is their website. I'm going to put it in the chat, and also their YouTube channel. Please do subscribe to it. We've already spoken about them once today, and this is another time. Please, we do love them on what have I done there? Yeah, those are the links. So okay, we've got 34,000 shares already being traded. I'm waiting for you guys to give me some predictions in the chat. It looks like 21 million. Okay, so we're going to send this tweet off. 21 million is what we predict. We're covering this live. We predict 21 million. You can DM me to call in the show. Love to have you on. Here we go. That's got sent out. Can everyone from the Lucas Aid Army and everyone watching please go and share this out? I'm going to give you the link to this tweet. Go and retweet it and hit the like button. Hit the like button, retweet this tweet. It's going in the live chat now. This is what we just sent to Eric. This is the ETF expert. Here we go. We are seconds away. Here we go. 12 seconds, and this is a historic day for the launch of the first XRP spot ETF. Is launching in 2 seconds on the bell. Here we go. Congratulations, everyone. We are going to look at the first minute of trading. We're going to look at the volume, but first, we deserve to celebrate. Can we get some hype in the chat for the first ever true XRP spot ETF? Let's get some hype in the chat. Let's analyze the numbers. Let's see what XRP is going to do. It's all going to be in the next 10 minutes, so stay with us. Here we go. Let's have a look. Hype in the chat. Everyone spam in the chat. This is your one chance to spam XRP, XRP, pump, pump, pump. Whatever you want to spam in the chat, spam it in now. Then you can win $2,000 worth of XRP. Then we can look at the data and see what's going to happen. The volume is 177,000 shares already. Wow, wow, wow. What are we on now? 109, 200,000. 200,000. That's 4.3 million already. 4.3 million already. More. 221. Here we go. Oh my God. What's XRP doing with this? I don't care what XRP is doing because XRP can dump while this is happening. We're waiting for the launch. 250,000 shares have now been traded. That is big. $6.6 million in the first minute of trading. Wow. Guys, it doesn't matter if XRP is not doing anything. We need to look at these numbers. I'll tell you why it's so important in a second. Here we go, 320,000. Guys, this is crazy. $8.5 million of XRP traded in the first 2 minutes of market open. Give me some hype in the chat. Let's go crazy. Guys, can everyone please retweet what I sent to Eric? Would love to have the ETF expert on the show. Everyone please retweet what I give you in the chat. And hit the like button on it as well. We did it. We did it. XRP ETF, the first ever XRP ETF. We've been covering this for years. We've been spot on like any other channel. Every single channel was wrong. Every single channel told you there'll be an XRP ETF 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Every single channel told you there'll be $10, $100 XRP by the end of the year. Every other channel told you that they're still working on previous, the old way of filing. That's what they keep telling you on X and on the previous channels. This channel was the only one who covered this from start to end with proper journalism, proper facts, and we got it right. The XRP ETF is live today. This is a monumental day. I'll tell you why it's so important. It's less about what happens on the day with the XRP's price action, but more about the volume we get on the day, because that gives us a very big idea of what institutions are doing. And right now is blowing past my expectations. And also, I'll tell you what it means to have this XRP ETF floodgate open. Well, let me just tell you very quickly right now. Congratulations to all of you. This is all about you guys watching and making, allowing us to be free from sponsors and corporate sponsors that tell us to make you guys lose money with leverage trading. You guys, your support, the memberships, you guys gifting memberships, you guys giving super chats, you guys subscribing to a newsletter, you guys being part of this community is why we can do what we want to do in the right way. So thank you to all the viewers and especially the members. Okay, so this is all about you guys. Thank you very much. You guys have got great hype in the chat. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me go through some of these names so you guys remember this day when we look back on it. I'll just scroll through this chat so you guys remember you were here on this historic day, members and viewers, respectively. You can see right now. I'm just scrolling through this because you guys have gone mental for this. So congratulations. Okay, now let's get down to the data. Let's get down to the numbers. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? This is incredible. Firstly, let's just have a quick look at where we are volume-wise. 474,000. Look, I'm about 95% confident that I'm getting these numbers right. I think this volume is about the shares traded rather than the... Look, have I got this wrong? And is this the actual volume in $100,000, or is this the volume of shares? I'm pretty confident this will be the volume. This is the amount of shares being traded. Let's go over to XRP over here and just make sure we're getting that right. I mean, either way, this is a historic day, so I don't want to take away from that. So let me go to XRPC. XRPC. We'll get confirmation from Eric in a second. Thank you. Oh, someone's just given away memberships. It's OPF Norfolk. Thank you very much for giving away the memberships. Do claim those memberships by hitting that like button and subscribing. Hitting that like button and subscribing, you can claim your free memberships. Thank you so much, OPF Norfolk. Okay, let me just give you some facts before we start speculating. We need to get confirmation on exactly what the volume is, because we don't do this every day. We're not the ETF experts here. We don't know exactly what that number means on the NASDAQ. So we'll come back to that. But why this day is more important than any other reason is because what we put in the newsletter today. If you haven't got the newsletter yet, I'll give you the link for it in a second. This is what you get every single day. You get the top stories at a glance. If you're on the go, if you want to see what's going on in the markets, crypto-wise, stock market-wise, bear market, recession, all that sort of stuff, you get all the top stories at a glance. 5 seconds you can read, or about 1 minute you can read all the top stories. You can get the one big thing, the market snapshot, the top stories. You can dive into them a bit more, understand them, see all the sources. This is real, no ads, no sponsorship, nothing like that. It's all the top stories of the day. And then we did a story today on the XRP's first ETF launch. I'm going to come on to it and tell you why this is the main story. And then we'll look into the volume a bit more and make sure we're getting those numbers right. So we've also got the deep dive, whether that's a macro story, the Ripple story, an XRP story, a stock story. This one's about Virgin Galactic. They've got their earnings tonight and they've got very, very low price. We're looking at potentially a short squeeze. Anyway, that's the deep dive. You get the chart of the day and you can see where I'm buying and selling, the economic calendar, all of that in your inbox every single day, plus one-on-one access to me. You can ask me all about my XRP take profit strategy, everything like that. You get one-on-one with me. You get full access to my portfolio. That's coming by the end of the year. The link is in the live chat. So firstly, go and subscribe to the newsletter. But why is today so important? Well, because this is the first true spot ETF in the US. Remember, the US is the biggest market. We had it in Brazil. We had it in Canada. Great, brilliant. But the US is where we want it. That's where the money is. So the first ever US spot XRP ETF, the Canary XRP ETF, XRPC is the ticker symbol. Let me know in the chat if you're buying it, by the way. Launches today on the NASDAQ. Officially the first time to have a true spot XRP ETF in the US regulated markets. This is Canary Capital. Who's holding the XRP? It's Gemini, BitGo. They're taking custody. Brilliant. Their fees are 0.5%. It's fine. It's not brilliant, but it's pretty good. 0.5% fees. Bitwise is probably going to come out with 0.34%. So the fees are not too high either. It's probably better for most people to own the ETF rather than have it in a ledger. It's safer. It's better for most people. So let's get past that. And then we've got, because I want to tell you why today is so important, XRPC. It tracks the spot reference data, so that's how it gets the data, just like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, so that's normal as well. But this places XRP among the short list of US-approved spot crypto products. There's only a few, and XRP is now part of it. Today's launch, we want to look at the volume. Bitcoin's ETF hit 4.6 billion in day one. Ethereum hit 1.2 billion. Solana hit 70 million. HBAR hit around 10 million, and so did Litecoin. These numbers will give us a yardstick for judging XRPC's opening hour and full session demand. We're going to look at that again in a second to make sure we've got all our numbers right. But here is the main significance of today's story. Here is why, as an XRP holder, you should be excited. Not because of what happens on the day, maybe slightly about the volume, what happens on the day, but not what happens to XRP's price on the day, or not what happens in the next week, month, year. No, it's not about that. Stop thinking so short term. Start thinking a bit more long term. The significance of this is we've just opened a door to trillions of dollars. That is not a lie. The significance of the spot XRP ETF is that it finally opens XRP to the US financial system's deepest pools of capital. Until today, institutions were structurally locked out. Fiduciary rules prevented retirement investment accounts. Massive. Family offices, massive. Wealth platforms, massive. Pensions, massive. Endowments, massive. And retirement accounts from touching exchange-based crypto exposure. That's literally 99% of where money is. Couldn't access XRP. Brokerage-only investors, 401 custodians, advisory platforms had no compliant path to XRP. A spot ETF removes every single one of those barriers at once. XRP becomes allocatable in standard brokerage accounts. It becomes eligible for retirement wrappers. It becomes tax efficient. If something is not tax efficient, no one's really going to touch it. Today, it becomes tax efficient and accessible to firms that collectively oversee trillions of dollars. This is not about everyone's going to sit down and do this today. All the family offices are going to sit down and say, we need to buy XRP, or all the hedge funds sit down today and say, we need to buy XRP. But when it comes around to it, they actually can now buy XRP. That takes away from the supply. That adds in a shock. That makes people want to buy it to just hold an asset because they think it's going to appreciate in value. Secondly, there's going to be companies around the world using XRP to make their systems more efficient. So you've got a double whammy. Not only is it like Bitcoin where everyone just holds it because it's a store of value and they think it's a crypto and they want to be part of it. This is, they hold it because they think it's going to go up in value. Plus, it makes their businesses more efficient. So this is better than Bitcoin in my opinion. So it's now eligible for retirement wrappers, brings a lot of trillions of dollars potentially into the space. Historical ETF launches show exactly what kind of situation occurs once you get an ETF. Bitcoin's January 2024 approval triggered over 15 billion of inflows. 15 billion in 10 days. Because it opened the gates to financial institutions. Ethereum saw 3 billion in the first month. And even smaller assets like Solana, HBAR experienced concentrated bursts of institutional liquidity. Even if a fraction of those flows migrate towards XRP, the long-term impact is transformational. Today is a transformational day for XRP holders. Persistent buy-side demand, increased market depth, and a shift from speculative trading to systematic allocation. Today is the first time XRP's True Spot ETF trades inside the US capital market machine. The opening volume spreads NAV premium will tell you instantly whether this is a niche altcoin debut or the start of a multi-year institutional liquidity cycle. So we're going to come back to the volume, look at what Eric has to say, but you get articles like this every single day to your inbox. I'll give you the link again. If you do want to support the show, remember, we care about our audience. The reason we can do what we do is because you guys support us. So please do continue supporting us. And one way to support us is with the newsletter. We don't take any corporate sponsors. That's why we're not, we can say what we want to say. We're not telling you to go leverage trade and lose all your money. We're telling you the real information. And if you want more real information, then check out the newsletter. If you press that link I've just put in the live chat, you can go to the annual plan and get a 7-day free trial. And that works out to about 30 cents a day for all the best information. You can contact me. You can have access to my portfolio. You can see all those posts. You can see the charts of the day. You're going to also see a killer app coming to anyone who subscribes now. It's not going to increase in price. The monthly plan is increasing at the end of the month, but if you're already on it, it's not increasing for you. So check out the monthly plan. If you want to support us even more, then thank you so much for the people that are being founding members. And if you just want the small insights from every newsletter every day, then there is a free plan for you as well. So there's no excuse. There's a plan for absolutely everyone. Go check out the newsletter. Now let's go back to Eric and see what he has to say about this launch of the ETF, and let's make sure we get our numbers right. Let's go over to here. So Eric said his prediction is 17 million. We've given our prediction as a whole. We did a vote. And it looked like we wanted to go for 21 million. We did. It was at the time 21 million. Now it's 30 million. But at the time we said 21 million. Let's see if Eric has posted since on the launch. He hasn't said anything since. Are we? Blockchain backer said 589 million, but that's not right at all. That can't be right. It's just stupid people saying stupid things. Let's see, have we got a reply from Eric on our post? We haven't got a reply right now. Okay, so we'll wait for Eric to confirm the data. Let's go back to XRPC. Over here, it says 133,000. On NASDAQ, we've got 689,000. So what I'm just trying to figure out now, I think now this is not the volume of shares being, I don't think this is the volume of shares. I think this is in dollars. This is in dollars, because if that was the volume of shares, 693, and we times it by the share price of $26, that would be $18 million. I don't think we're looking at, I think this is the actual volume, even though it doesn't have a dollar sign, or it's very confusing because if it was the dollar amount, it should have a dollar sign and 1,000. So we'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, I think that is dollar signs. It should have a dollar sign. So I think the volume is actually right now just under 1 million. So I think this is the actual volume. I don't think this is the amount of shares. So the volume right now, from what I can see right now, is $711,000 worth of volume, which sounds a bit more right. But we'll wait for Eric to confirm that. Let's keep an eye on this, because Solana did 72 million. And HBAR did 8 million. Litecoin only did 1 million, so we're nearly overtaking Litecoin and Litecoin did that in a full day. So we're nearly going to overtake Litecoin in the first half an hour of trading. Eric will give us an update on the hour, so I'll keep an eye on Eric's updates as well. Yeah, so stay with me. I'm going to go to your comments. I'm just going to get some more data while we're waiting. If you have just tuned in, please make sure you have hit the like button and you have subscribed. Any major event we go live, we bring you the most honest news. Please, let's see if we can get up to, let me go over to here and see how many subscribers. Can we get 107,000 subscribers? There's 1,500 people watching. 300 of you, I'm sure, haven't subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, let's see if we can hit another major mark on such a historic day of the XRP Spot ETF. Let's see if we can get 107,000 subscribers today. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Let me go to your comments, and I'll bring you up the chart of XRP as well. We'll keep an eye on XRP's chart while we also keep an eye. Oh, here we go. XRP's pumping now. Yeah, XRP is certainly liking what's going on. Let me put that on the screen. Joe Wolf says, read my comments. If you want me to read your comments, you can become a member. If you're not a member of the show, here's the membership link. 18 million in volume already. Are you sure? Someone, who knows? Did the Canary predict 1 billion of inflows in day one? I don't think they did, no. That's 18.2 million. Are we sure that's in shares? Because if it is, that's incredible. Is that shares? Are we sure that's shares? Because if it is shares, yes, it's 18 million. But are we being, is that volumes in shares? Sorry, thank you guys. Volume is in shares. So we've had $18 million of volume so far. I don't need to be a member to state a fact. No, it's fine. Joe Wolf, I didn't say you need to be a member to state a fact. I said if you want me to read your comments, we always read our members' comments. You don't have to be a member. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm just saying if you want me to read your comment, we focus on the members. First day back in office after 43 days. 100. The current volume shows 550,000, meaning about 550 shares were traded on its first days. This is actually a strong debut for a new ETF. It's the number of shares traded. It is the number of shares traded. So have we got $18 million worth of volume so far? NASDAQ says share volume, scroll down. I just can't believe a number that big. Oh yeah, share volume. We've had 770,000. Oh my god, let me do the maths on this. 770,000 times 26. $20 million so far. Are we being serious? Is that actually what's going on right now? Is that actually what's happening right now? I need some confirmation of this. that would be incredible. 18. That means Eric's predictions already is just out the window. He said 17 million. He says day one 17 million, and this is an XRP. This is an ETF expert from Bloomberg. He's an analyst for that's all he ever does, and he says 17 million. So he was wrong within the first 20 minutes of trading. Are we sure? Are we sure, guys? I don't think it's I personally don't think it's the shares. I know it says shares, but I think that's in dollars. Let's keep an eye on it. Let's keep an eye on it. Let's see what I'll come back to your comments in a second. Time for an XRPC day one volume prediction. I'm going with 17 million. What did you get? Okay. Let's go over here. So H-bar had 8 million. Litecoin had 1 million. Solana had 72 million on day 2. Let's just have a look at this picture here. So the volume was 2.7 million. What was the price? Yeah, I'm just trying to get my head around this, guys. I don't do this every day about these ETF launches. Let's see if Eric's commented, and then you guys seem to know a bit more than me right now, so let me go to your comments. Ask ChatGPT, says someone. 770,000 in volume. That's what I thought. Robinhood shows 777,000. I think that's more realistic. I think that's what... Look at XRP pumping now. Wow. Will we reach 25 million in first hours? I don't think we're in millions. Going to hit our predictions soon. Shall we ask ChatGPT? Let's go and get ChatGPT on the phone. Here we go. If ever in doubt, get the AI. I hate using AI because it's half the time it's wrong, but we'll give it a go. Let's see if we can do this live. If we can talk to it. Hello, ChatGPT. We are looking at XRPC launching today. We're looking at the NASDAQ exchange, and currently it shows that there is volume of 841,000, but we don't know if that's dollars or the shares that are being traded. And this is on the first hour of the launch. So that would say that there's about, if it is the amount of shares, it's about $20 million Eric is saying that there should be about 18 million on the first day, or are we looking at the price? Are we just looking at that's the $770,000 has already been traded? Let me know. You're live on the Martyn Lucas Show.
All right, happy to be live with you. So yeah, let's break that down. Typically on the NASDAQ, when you see a volume number like 841,000, in this context, it's referring to the number of shares traded. So that would mean around 841,000 shares have already changed hands in the first hour. And if we're estimating that at roughly $20 billion in value, that makes sense. So Eric's estimate of around $18 million on the first day is probably pretty close. It sounds like we're right on track. Let me know if you need more details.
Yeah, so the volume says 852,000. The share price right now is about $27. We're only in the first 25 minutes of trading. Does that all seem right to you?
Yeah, that lines up pretty well. So if we're at about 852,000 shares traded and each share is around $27, that's roughly $23 million in value so far. And since we're only about 25 minutes into trading, that's definitely a pretty active start. So everything you're seeing is making perfect sense. And it looks like there's a lot of interest right out the gate.
Thanks. Say bye to everyone on the show.
Absolutely. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in and letting me join the chat. It was a blast. Take care and see you all next time.
Tell everyone XRP is going to the moon.
Right, you got it. Hey everyone, you heard it here. We're calling it XRP is going to the moon. Thanks for having me on, and let's see where this launch takes us.
All right, okay. Well, ChatGPT seems to think that that's the volume of shares as well. So I need Eric to confirm this because I'm still skeptical, because now we've just hit 861. And if that's the amount of shares, 861, I just don't think it's the shares. If that's 861 now, we are looking at what? 861 times. We're looking at 23 million in the first 25 minutes. Let's keep an eye on this. Eric is going to tweet any second now. XRP is now pumping as well, so maybe it's right. That was ChatGPT, guys. What do you think of that? Okay, let's keep an eye on everything. Let me go over here. Let's see. Eric, has he tweeted? I'm going to go to your comments as well. This could be an incredible day if we've already had 20 million plus. Here we go. Here's our tweet from Canary. Introducing XRPC, the Canary XRP ETF provides exposure to the native token plus the XRP ledger, built to reflect network performance across payments and liquidity. Backed by XRP's established utility and cross-border value transfer, designed for efficiency, speed, scalability within distributed finance. We believe the XRP ledger represents a leading framework for global... Guys, this is incredible. This isn't just like we've launched an XRP ETF, go check it out. They're endorsing XRP and the ledger. We believe that the XRP ledger represents a leading framework for global payments, purpose-built for interoperability and real-world settlement. It's a sales pitch for XRP. Its design enables low-cost, near-instant transfers while growing adoption across enterprise and fintech ecosystems. And then I think that's some terms and conditions. And that's about it. Okay, so let me go to the chat. Let's keep an eye on XRP. What's everyone saying? Guys, remember you can always make sure you're up to date and live. So there is a button here on the live stream. Just make sure it's got that red dot. If it doesn't have that red dot next to live, it means you're not all the way up to date. So press live to make sure you're live with us. She sounds hot, says someone. That's why I've got a woman's voice. I'm joking. Don't tell my wife I said that. Look at those candles. 141k shares for one of the trades. Wow. Grok better all says. W ChatGPT. That's right. I don't always like to trust ChatGPT, but I guess it's good to get some more information told you, says Chris. On Robinhood, volume represents the total number of shares. or contracts for options. XRP's price is catching up. That accent is killing me. Who's that speaking? I like her voice. Share volume is total traded. Wave over the price to see outstanding shares. I think people are we're not agreeing on one yet. Nasdaq should have included a dollar sign there instead. Yeah, if it is dollar, they should include a dollar sign. That's such a fake accent. Thanks for the info. Well, it's not ChatGPT. It's not my fault. That's 1 million per minute so far, says Christopher. 100. I don't know yet. Don't get your hopes up too much yet. We're gonna get confirmation. Eric always tweets at the 1 hour mark, but he might tweet a bit earlier. W on track to break records today. Yeah, if that is true. ChatGPT is terrifying, lol. Bro, chill, you have to believe. Aladdin. Man, that's his wife. It's not my wife. XRP hit. I'm going to buy me a wife that has an accent like that. Grok confirmed. Let's go XRP to quantitative easing, infinity and beyond. Guys, if you have just tuned in, we always have fun like this. We look at the actual data. Sometimes we have watch parties like this. Sometimes we really dive deep into getting our buys in like we did at 30 cents, 40 cents for XRP. So please become part of the channel. Please do subscribe. Please do hit the like button. Please do support a channel like this, which doesn't take on corporate sponsors. Because we could easily do it, and it won't affect the views really, but it would affect you guys, and we don't want to do that. I would be afraid of what my bad Rudy Grok would repeat. Oh God, don't want to know about that. RB Human Being says, "Here is how we all see Here is how we see the people don't know how to use KI yet." I mean, so many fun they make off. Okay, we're keeping an eye on this. Let me just see if Eric has tweeted. Eric is my go-to on this. He's covered every single launch. He'll give us an update on the hour mark, I imagine. Okay. Let's go through some more questions, some comments. I'll tell you all about the ETF as well. My thoughts, my price predictions, my bull market predictions, my bear market predictions. Are we in a bull market? Are we in a bear market? How much money can flow in? I'll give you all of those throughout this video as well. Just want to react to some of your comments for now. Up, says Human Beings. See, you need to know, should XRP breaks all records, all ETF records today? It could do if that's right. Bro, let it pump. You don't believe on it. I do believe on XRP. Don't you worry. I definitely believe about XRP. I mean, I bought it when every single person was bearish on it. Bought it in 2017 and bought it at 30 cents. Bought it when there was a lawsuit going on. Bought it when everyone said it's a centralized coin. Bought it when everyone said it's a banker's coin. Bought it when everyone said it's not decentralized. Don't worry, I've had plenty of hate. I'm not hating on it. It's been live for only 28 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to put a timer on the screen, and this is probably when we're going to get the 1 hour update. So I'm going to put another 30-minute timer on the screen. So let me let me get this on. Okay, so we want it at 3 o'clock. No, 3:30. That's when we're going to get the 1 hour update, and that's when we can take all of that data and see how it compares to other ETFs and see how much institutional demand there is for XRP. That's what I'm most interested about, the data. So let me title that as well, ETF data. That's when we'll be at the 1 hour mark, and that's when it'll get, and that's when we can start extrapolating the data and see how it's been. It's been live now for 28 minutes. Yep, only 28 minutes. Now it's another 26 minutes to go for an hour. Bitcoin decoupling event later today. No, guys, don't call on Bitcoin decoupling today. Don't think that XRP is going to beat. That's going to overtake Bitcoin today, or we're going to get $100. We don't do that on this channel. We're realistic. This weekend's going to be fun, says Revved Up Biker. 1 billion in XRP ETF volume today. Oh my God, 1 billion. That would be incredible. I really want to know if this is in the millions or not. I am waiting for someone for the has Eleanor Terrett tweeted? No. Because if we look over here, let me show you this chart over here. This is XRPC on TradingView. If you look at the volume here, 787,000. So again, is that the shares then? Oh, what's going on? Let's put the volume here. Let's look at what was that? G-Sol? Yeah. Let's look at day one on G-Sol. This would be a great way to understand it. If we go onto G-Sol. Yeah, maybe it is. This could be an amazing day. This is looking very good. What's your prediction on price per XRP? Well, I don't really like to give too many predictions. If we are going to continue the bull market, my predictions are $4, $5, $7, $10. That's why I'm laddering out. If we go into a bear market, then it's 171, 150, 150. Sorry, $1.50. And I just like to be prepared for both scenarios. If we go into a bear market, instead of everyone complaining and telling me I'm an idiot and saying we're never going to go to those levels, I don't really care. If we go to those levels, I'll buy it and I'm happy. I'll be extraordinarily happy if XRP goes down 50, 60, 80%. Why? Well, because I'll just have more time to buy it because ultimately I know where XRP is going. But like, it depends where we top out this cycle. If we already topped out, next cycle, maybe $20. If we're going to $10 this cycle, maybe next cycle, I'm looking at $50 to $100. So we need to get some more info. Wow. I wasn't blaming you for the accent, Sensei. Come on. Its shares are so far 900,000 times 26 gives you about 24 million. Tara says go XRP. Joe Wolf says 25 million in 30 minutes. Yeah, I think we've been bearish with our prediction. What did we say? Has it already ever predicted? We said 21 million. We said 21 million shares. That's what we said, guys. Guys, remember when we did that prediction? When we replied to Eric and he said, give us your predictions? We didn't say $21 million. That's why I missed out the dollars. We said 21 million shares. That's our prediction, okay? Remember that. If we get 21 million shares, we're right, okay? We didn't predict $21 million. We predicted 21 million shares. And if there is 21 million shares, that would give us first day volume of 500 million. Oh god, this is by far the best investor community on YouTube. Love your... Oh, Christopher, just lost your message. Sorry guys, it sometimes just pops and the chat comes down. Wait for the 1 hour update because that's going to be the most important update. Why does your ChatGPT sound hot? Don't ask too many questions. XRP breaks all ETF records today. BlackRock must be so pissed they didn't set up an XRP ETF. They must have lost that money. Yeah, they definitely did. But once they come on, they're probably just going to make a lot of money anyway. They like others to test the water. It's like Apple. They're going to make the most money, but they don't mind other people testing the waters first. Where were we? $10 XRP. $10 XRP today and $100 by the end of the year. You must be kidding me. Or do we have to put the music on? Do we have to whack a troll? Is it time to whack a troll?
It's 1991.
Right, so time to whack a troll. This is our whack a troll music when someone says something absurd. I think he's joking though. I don't think we have to whack this troll. I think this is a member just joking to get me to put on the music. We're going to get GTA 6 for $4 XRP. Oof. Will we? I don't know. Share volume 963,000. Still not on the SoFi app. Is the ETF? We had a question. We had a comment from Christopher, but we just literally lost it. Oh, Christopher says this is by far the best investor community on YouTube. Love your shows at Sensei. That's why I upgraded to sponsor this week. You upgraded to sponsor. Wow, Christopher, I did not know that. Thank you very much for upgrading to sponsor. That is incredible. Christopher, I do have a message from you on Discord. I need to get back to you, but I would love to have that one-on-one chat. You became a the sponsorship, that's all to do with Martyn and Martyn's. You can get your one-on-ones with Martyn and everything like that. I have nothing to really do with the YouTube side of it. However, on the newsletter side, you became a premium member of the newsletter. So you not only did you, let me go over here. Not only did you subscribe to the newsletter, so thank you for everyone who supports the newsletter with the annual and the monthly plan, you became a founding member. So you're paying $250 a year for that. And I'd like to give you that extra perk that you requested. So if you want a one-on-one, and if anyone becomes a founding member, you can get one-on-one. We can try and set that up, Christopher. So keep an eye out. Send me another message. I'm so busy, but as long as you keep annoying me, sending me another, I'm very happy with people continuing to message me. It makes me get things done. So message me again and we'll try and set that up. Senso's a robot as he never drinks tea or needs a bathroom. Yeah, I just actually always drink water. I always look like I'm drinking tea or coffee. It's always water. And he fancies ChatGPT. Don't tell my wife. Got some shares. Oh, you bought some shares. Who bought some shares of the Canary ETF? Anyone here bought some shares? Let me know yes or no in the chat. Spam the chat. Yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. Spam the chat. Yeah, so NASDAQ site, it shows share volume. Where are you guys going to be buying the shares through? Nothing on Trading 212. You can't, unfortunately, here in the UK because our government is, I'm not going to say anything too bad, just because we're a bit archaic, we can't buy it on Trading 212. Not available in the UK. This is a US exchange. Again, for XRP, it's good, but we can't do anything with it here in the UK. Thank you very much for becoming a bronze member, Ramoon. Anyone who becomes an Electra member, should we do the next 10 people? The next 10 people that become an Electra member, you're going to receive a special perk. We're going to spin the wheel and you're going to get a special perk. So the next 10 people that become an Electrum member. How do you become an Electrum member? Well, click on that link, upgrade your membership to Electrum, and I'll make note of each one of your names and you're going to get a special perk. 993,000 in volume. Once again, thank you for the membership of OPF Norfolk. Go XRP, that means financial freedom for me. Been holding for years. Wow, yes. Thank you for thanking the person who gave you a membership. Since the music stopped, we're dumping. Let me put on the price action. I wonder if we can just put on a very zoomed in amount of shares being traded as well. Oh my God, we've just hit 1 million. Can I zoom this in anymore? Okay, there we go. There we go. Now we've got the volume there on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. That'll be very useful. Okay, so 1 million. Congratulations, guys. Let's put... Oh, let's put... $1 million in volume for day one of the XRP spot ETF. Congratulations to everyone. Please hit that like button, subscribe. What a day. Look at that. Let's turn that off. Let's go through our comments as well. We've just hit 1 million. We'll switch between that and the XRP chart as well. XRP price barely moves. Oh, Charlie's gifted 5 bronze memberships. Oh, you guys are amazing. Not only are you supporting the channel, you're supporting us, you're supporting the fellow viewers. Everyone who does membership giveaways, thank you so much to you guys. If everyone could just do one, you can do one as well. If all the members and all the viewers can just give away 1 or give away 5 or 10 or whatever you want to do. What a day to give it away. This will be a historic day. This YouTube video is always going to be referred back to. We're going to celebrate everyone who supports the show today. Anyone who becomes a newsletter subscriber, anyone who gives founding members, anyone who gives memberships away, anyone who does super chat. If you do a super chat, it will read it out as well. This will be a historic day. Thank you so much, Charlie, for doing that. Let's put some 1 million in volume in 30 minutes. Yes, how incredible is that? Let's go backed by physical XRP. Yeah, this is backed by physical XRP. This isn't like the other XRP ETFs. This is physical spot. Let's just check everything, all our sources, just in case we're getting new information coming. Claim your memberships by hitting that like button, subscribing, and engaging. Oh, here we go. We've got new information. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is
We've got confirmation. The biggest ETF launch of the year. I'm gonna give you the numbers now. Here are the numbers. Eric was wrong. I'm gonna give you the numbers. This is incredible. Here we go. This is incredible. This is ultra bullish. Institutions are getting involved. This could be the biggest ETF launch of the year. Can we get some hype in the chat? I want this chat to be rolling. I want memberships given away, super chats. Let's go crazy. Everyone go spam the chat. Pump XRP. Spam, 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 spam. This is a historic day. Guys, I'm going to put the music on one last time. This is going to be a 2-minute clip. Or it's going to be a 3-minute clip. I'm going to start it and end it. I'm going to post it as its own video. And what we're going to do is we're going to have the chat rolling. People are hopefully going to be giving away memberships, doing super chats, reading on the screen. We're going to go crazy for the next 5 minutes because this is going to turn it into its own 5-minute video. In 5 years' time, we're going to come back and we're going to see this is the day that started it all. Because we've just got confirmation from Eric that it was in millions. That it was in millions, 26 million in the first 30 minutes. This can be a historic day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce this as a video. We're going to clip it into 5 minutes. We're going to clip it into 5 minutes. Hopefully everyone goes crazy with super chats, memberships, and all of that. And then it's going to roll. Someone's already done it, so I'm going to go back. So here we go. Oh, let me turn this off. We're going to start again. Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. Day 1 of the first spot XRP ETF. We're going to look back on this day in 5 years' time and say today is the day that we went institutional and the money flowed into XRP. Today is the day that changed everything. The first ever spot ETF has just gone live. And it's gone live, and in the first 30 minutes, there's been 26 million in volume in the first 30 minutes. It's blown past everyone's predictions. It's on track to be the largest ETF launch of the year. But today is the day where XRP opens up to the real money. And we are celebrating with the Lucasades. Every single person here has been a part of this journey. We're going to look back on this day in 5 minutes' time. There's people going crazy. We're going to put the music on. Everyone's going to go crazy in the chat. Charles has gifted 5 memberships. RMFD has gifted 5 memberships. People are going to do super chats. They're going to be part of the show. Everyone's going to go crazy in the chat while we put on the music. So let's celebrate this. What a day. Let's put on the music and let's get ready for the 2-minute clip that's always going to play. Go crazy in the chat. Here we go. The year is
1991. Birds and people
$26 million in volume in the first 30 minutes of XRPC, the first spot ETF on the 13th of November, 2025. Let's go crazy. KC, 10 memberships. Casey, thank you so much. How incredible. Claim your memberships. Hit the like button. Subscribe. If everyone just does 1 membership, your name will pop up. If you do a super chat, it'll pop up. This is incredible. Everyone's names are rolling in the chat. You are here on the launch of the XRP ETF. XRP standing on the moon. Josh Monroe, thank you very much. Look at that. This is the live volume. First 30 minutes, 1 million shares. Look at the chat going crazy. Keep it running. Let's go. Guys, it's not all about today. XRP pumping. Let me make it clear. It's not all about today, what XRP does today. This is the start of something amazing. This is why XRP will be successful long term. But today is a day to celebrate. We've been through it all. SEC cases, Gary Gensler, court cases, being called bankers coin, non-decentralized, centralized coin. Today is validation for the XRP army and the holders. Let's go crazy in the chat. Let's give away memberships. Let's do super chats. Keep your name running. Here we go. Josh Monroe gave a Josh Monroe 5 memberships. Look at that. Guys, today is the 13th of November, 2025, 106,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can get it higher. Let's see what we're at when we look at this in 5 years' time. Okay, there's 1 minute left. Is there going to be any more memberships? Is there going to be any more super chats? Keep commenting in the chat. This is a day to remember. I cannot believe it. I was not expecting that number to be in dollars. Sorry, in shares. We thought that was the dollar amount. 1 million shares traded at 26. At 26. That's $26 million of volume day one. Here we go. Phoenix. Look at everyone in the chat. Albi, Melissa, Jesse, Cash. Who was that? That was Wall Street, Albi, Dan, Chris, Sheldon, Michael, Albi, Jimmy, Richard, Chris, Teresa, Zach Zate is here. Who else is in the chat? Keep spamming. Jen Poe, Chris, Sheldon, Zach Zate. Jimmy, V. Oh, someone's just become a member as well. Hofka, Jordan. Guys, let's finish off that video. What a historic day in the markets. Today, we got the first ever XRP spot ETF, the real spot ETF, only holds spot in the US, the biggest market. It opens the doors to everyone. Financial institutions, financial advisors, Roth IRAs, tax efficient accounts, hedge funds, everyone. It doesn't all happen in one day, but over time, every time we have a bear market, people will accumulate via the ETF. People in the bull market will FOMO via the ETF. So it helps every step of the way. And today is the day it happened, and we shared it with the Lucasades. This is a video that we will look back on. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. That's going to come out as a video, guys. Thank you for going crazy in the chat. Thank you for the memberships. So what's the next target? Are we going to beat Solana? That is when we become the biggest ETF launch of the year. Can we beat Solana? So Solana's biggest day one launch of this year was 57 million. So I'm going to get ChatGPT back on. If Sol had 57 million and was largest, how many shares do we need?
At Josh Monroe 4,520 donated $2 through a super chat. XRP standing on the moon.
We're already standing on the moon. You know it, Josh Monroe. Don't worry about the price. We're standing on the moon. Okay, so we're at 1,100,000 shares. In 5 minutes, we hit the hour mark, and then we can start comparing it. I think we need 2 million. So let's just do a quick calculation here. Get the calculator out and stop being lazy with AI. So we need, I think, 2.1 million. So 2,140,000, let's just say 2.2 million times the share price is around 26.50. That will give us 58 million. Yeah. We need 2.2 million. So this number that you see on the screen down here is at 1 million in the first nearly hour of trading, which is normally the first hour is when most of the trading happens, maybe the last hour as well. But if we get another 1 million, essentially another 1 million or 1 million, yeah, around another 1 million, 1,050,000, we will beat Solana and will be the biggest day one launch of this year. And remember, Solana had the it was at a better time. The market was a bit better, and secondly, it was the first altcoin ETF apart from Ethereum, Bitcoin that we got 2 years ago. So it had that initial hype as well. So if we manage to do that, will be the biggest one-day launch of any ETF. This is not just crypto ETFs. This is any ETF that's come out this year. We could do it. We could do it. And this is Eric who said XRPC at 26 million in volume in the first 30 minutes. We're going to blow past my 17 million guess. Had good shot at beating. I think people underestimate the XRP army. I think even Eric underestimates the XRP army. The XRP army is strong. Very, very strong. We are at 30 million in volume now. We're going to blow past my 30 million guess. Had a good shot at beating BSOL. Yeah, guys, I really messed up the guess, didn't I? I put you guys. I did a guess, didn't I? Where was it? Where was it? Going with a 17 million, we said. Can't even edit it. Oh god, yeah, I think we got it wrong. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Let's go to your comments and let's have a look at the XRP price section as well. This is the XRP chart now. It's coming down a bit, but as I said to you guys, this is not all about what's going to happen on XRP today. This is, let's keep an eye on the volume. Let's compare it to other launches. Today is not every single hedge fund, every single retirement account, every single financial advisor, every single family office is going to go and look at XRP and go, we're going to buy some XRP today. This is opening the doors. Not everyone has to run in the doors straight away. They'll come in when it's right for them, but at least the door is now open. So don't worry about too much about look at this is the price action right now coming back down. Don't worry about that too much. Definitely don't worry about that. You said 21 million. Yeah, ignore it. I didn't say that. Guys, I'm bullish. I didn't say 21 million. I said 100 million. I did a poll. It was a poll. It was a poll, and at that time, 21 million was the highest. It's your fault, not me. You guys voted. I would have said 50 million. You guys are the ones who voted for 21 million. Don't blame me. If it kept up with this pace, we would hit 7 million. Yeah, we wouldn't keep up with this pace though. It's the first hour and then the last hour and then a little bit in between. So that's why we're going to look at the data in about a minute's time. How's it looking for day one? It's about inflow as well. Also, yeah, of course, it's about inflow. Yeah, definitely. We're going to want to see the inflow figures, of course. Let's not just make it all about volume. Volume will give us an idea, but the inflow, how much is actually coming into Canary Capital, we'll get that information and we'll cover it tomorrow. Might get some information today as well. Will the 26 million make will the 26 million make XRP price go up? No, not really. No, it just shows how much interest there is. It's the inflows and how much people will actually buy and hold that'll make it go up. What we're getting, what the volume is, we're seeing how much interest there is in this. And if there's interest, people will buy it and hold it long term. Yes, it'll have a small effect on the price, but right now it's gauging the interest is what we're doing today. XRP market crashing, XRP liquidity crisis, XRP AI trade over. Source of space, what's going on? Ripple XRP is in the sun, Stellar Lumis XRP in the moon, and above. So, time to look at the numbers. 46 seconds. "37 seconds, I will look at the numbers. Bitcoin dumping, XRP goes down. Yes, that's how it works, the market right now. Green candles for days. Solana is going to get cooked. Time to retire. Great job, Sensei. Thank you very much. Do consider, guys, becoming a member as well. Electrum members, I will have a special perk for you. If you become an Electrum member today, there will be a special perk for you. I've got Biod at 230. I've got Biodas at $2, 170, 180, 150, $1. Not because I'm bearish, but because if it goes down there, I don't want to miss out. Okay, let's turn off the music. Let's go into the data. Okay. It's a very special day, so I want to do something. I want to do something for anyone who's watching right now. Let me just give this one more minute because we want to let the data cool down. Give this another couple minutes. I want to do something very special. I want to do like a flash thing for the newsletter again because it's such a special day. I want to do something special. So what I'm going to do is create something for the newsletter today. What should I do for anyone who joins today? We'll do a code. Let's do a discount code for anyone who joins today, and something else. Maybe like an XRP playbook, because we've got a big XRP audience here, and I love the XRP army. It's my favorite army out there. Obviously with the Lucas aids. So let me do a special offer. Let's do a new offer for 20 minutes only. So XRP 20 mins only. This is only going to be for 20 minutes for anyone who's in the show right now. We'll do it for... Let's do it for the month. What should we do it for? Guys, do you want... So we're going to do a 20-minute only for the newsletter. And then I'm going to explain how big the newsletter is going to get in a second. But would you prefer something for the newsletter? Let me give you an option and then you guys can decide, because this is going to be for 20 minutes only. Then I'm going to come onto the XRP data. Let me just move that timer again just so we can do it. But I want to celebrate this day with people joining the newsletter as well. But I want to do it. We don't want to do this all the time, but today seems like a good day to do it. So let me just give you a poll. This is going to be like a really quick 20-minute offer for anyone who's joined the XRP event. So newsletter. I'm going to ask you what you prefer. Would you prefer a free trial, monthly discount, monthly free trial, monthly discount, annual discount, and then you guys can choose, and I'll give you the code now, or annual free trial. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put a poll in the chat just so you guys can. I don't know what you prefer the most. So, newsletter 20 min offer. There is a poll in the chat now. We're going to, of course, go back to XRP. That's the main purpose of this event. It's only going to be for 2 minutes. But I just want to, it's just a quick poll to see what you guys would prefer. So we can do that to celebrate today. We've got all the data in the background. I'm going to go through back and go. I need to really move this countdown because this might take a few minutes. So let me just move it to there. And then essentially what we want to do is analyze the volume between the different ones. And then it will give us an idea of what the institutions are most interested in. Then we can try and extrapolate the data to see what the final data will be by the end of the day. And then I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on XRP. I'll give you the next big event. I'll answer all your questions, but just for like a couple minutes. For anyone, I know there's a lot of people that want the newsletter, so I just want to see what you guys prefer the most. So I'm just going to pick a random one. Let me just go monthly discount. So let me see what you guys want the more. We're going to do a 20-minute offer. Most of you would prefer 36% of you say annual free trial. And then 44% of you. Can everyone just vote what they'll prefer the most? Let's just get over 100 votes and then I can do it based off that. It looks like most people want a free trial rather than a discount. And most people would rather, so it's between monthly free trial and annual free trial. Again, for the annual plan, it's not like a whole year's free trial. It will be a few months. So it's just a free trial at this point. So you don't get a whole free year. It's on the annual plan, so you'll be cheaper when you do get charged if you choose to keep it. So let me just wait. Number 10 seconds is on par, monthly or annual, monthly or annual, monthly or annual. Okay, you want the annual plan because it's cheaper, but on the you want a free trial on it. Carlos Troll, ban Carlos. Can someone take care of Carlos, one of the moderators? You don't need to ban him. You can just put him on a timeout. You can just put Carlos on a timeout. Okay, it looks like we're going for an annual free trial. So I'm going to limit this code to annual. You're going to get, instead of a discount, it's a free trial. So currently, the best we do is let's do 30 days. Oh, should we do 30? Yeah. 14 days or 30 days? Let's do 30 days. Let's just, it's only 20 minutes. Let's do 30 days. 30 days free. Okay, this is going to be so everyone could test this for 30 days. 30 days free on annual plan. Okay, I'm going to give you the link now. And this is only going to be 20 minutes and then I'll shut it off. And I'm going to call it the ETF. Here we go. 30 days free on the annual plan. 20 minutes only, starting now. 20 minutes only, first 10 people, and then we'll shut it. Either it ends in 20 minutes or the first 10 people that get it. So here is the link. I'm going to tell you about the newsletter as well. But first 10 people, 20 minutes only. Where is the countdown? I'll put a countdown when we get to 10 minutes. Okay. 20 minutes only, or the first 10 people. Here is the link to the newsletter. The newsletter is going to be massive. It's not only a newsletter. I want to make that very clear. What do you get as part of this? Well, today you got everything you need to know about the launch, but in general, what do you get? You get this website, you get access to it, every single previous article as well. You get it, you can have it on an app, you can download the Substack app and get it all there. Or you can also get it in your emails every day. Every single trading day, including Saturdays as well, you get an email. You get every trading day, let me tell you about that first. You get, let me go over here. You get a newsletter in your inbox with a brief summary of what all the top stories are on the day. So you can read it in 1 minute, 2 minutes if you're in a rush. Then you get the one big thing. So what's the big thing of the day and how do you navigate it with a financial coaching tip? Then you get the market snapshot, what's going on in the market. Then you get those 5 big stories of the day, the 5 top headlines you need to know to be a successful trader, investor in the markets, stock markets, crypto markets, the 5 top stories. You then get the deep dive story as part of the newsletter. That could be a macro story, that could be an XRP story, that could be a Ripple story, that could be a stock review, that could be a high risk, high reward play, that could be a recession story. You get that every single day in your inbox. That's 4 hours of research you get in about a 10-minute read. You then also get the Saturday newsletter from Vaz, EV tolls. They're flying taxis, flying cars. You will know all about it. This is like being in electric vehicles in 2018 and understanding how Tesla worked before anyone could understand it. If you know nothing about that, well, you're going to get a weekly newsletter on it, and you can understand the next big industry. You also then get, remember, I quit my job to do this for you guys. I subscribe to 20 different news agencies so I can give you the best news. You get that full newsletter every day. Then what you're going to get is one-on-one DM access. On Substack, you can message me one-on-one. Any question, anytime, you can message me. Anytime, any question. Also, by the end of 2025, I'm hoping to bring out the Sensei Investing Journal. So I'm going to have a portfolio challenge. I'm going to try and turn 5,000 to 400,000, just like Martyn did live on the show. It's going to be my investing journal. It's not going to be alerts, but it's going to be why I'm buying this, what is the analysis behind it, what's my hours of research. I'm going to be sharing it with you on the newsletter. I'm also going to be bringing out, and this is the first time I'm announcing it, I'm going to be bringing out a very special app. It's going to be bringing I'm not going to tell you too much. It's going to help you track your portfolio. It's going to give you insights, my insights to your portfolio. It's also going to let you research companies, and it's all going to be part of the subscription. So at that point, when that releases, maybe in 2-3 months' time, we're going to bring up the price of the newsletter because it's going to include so much. There's also going to be trading tips, trading courses, all of that is going to be part of the newsletter. So you're only going to get bigger. At that point, you might increase the price. But today, if you do sign up, you're never going to increase in price. And you've got 30 days to try it. So that's the newsletter. It's only going to get bigger and better. And because of this event, and I'm going to put time on the screen, in about 10 minutes, in about 14, there it is. I'm going to put that in there. We're going to talk about the ETF data now. In about 14 minutes time, I'm going to... that code is going to be invalid. It's not going to work anymore. We're going to close it down, and it's for the first 10 people as well. So sale ends in 14 minutes time. So this is your one chance to do it. You don't have to put any money up front. You guys chose you wanted the free trial, so try it out. You have to go for the annual plan to get that 1 month free. That link is now in the live chat. You can click on that link. Once you click on that link, you'll go over to this screen here, and you can see 30 days free trial. You select that free trial, and as long as you cancel it before, you won't get charged. So 30 days free. Once you get charged, it'll work out to less than 30 cents a day, but you get all those perks. This will be increasing in price in the future anyway. If you don't want to get the annual plan, there's always the monthly plan, founding plan, and the free plan. But for the next 30 minutes, you have that opportunity, and only during this XRP ETF event. It's also only for the first 10 people as well. So there you go. Go and check it out. Okay, so let's go back to today's top story, and let me tell you all about what's going on. We've got a $2,000 XRP giveaway as well, so I'll tell you all about that in about after the sale ends. I'll tell you about the $2,000 XRP giveaway live on the show. We have just had the most monumental day in XRP's history. If you've just tuned in and go back, we've been very excited about this. Solana had about 60 million in first day volume. And sorry, just 1 second. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah. So Solana had about 69 million in volume in the first day. We're trying to beat that now. So we're going to try and extrapolate the data to see if we can beat that. Today, don't worry about the XRP price action. It's more about the fundamentals behind it. We've had 1.2 million shares now being traded. So that would be, let me get the number. So that's 1.2 million now. 1.2 million. What dollar amount is that? That is 32 million. So 32 million, we're halfway there. We are halfway there to beat Solana, and we're not even halfway through the day. Remember, the first hour of trading is probably the most, and the last hour is the second most. So it's going to be a tight squeeze. Are we going to get there? Let's see if we can figure that out. But also, let's compare the numbers to previously. So where did that go? So Litecoin, okay, so here we go. This is day one. This is what happened on day one. HBAR got 8 million. So you can't compare XRP to HBAR. XRP is way above HBAR, and Litecoin got 1 million. XRP is an absolutely different category. XRP is an absolutely different category. It's a different beast. It's a different monster. You can't compare them. Much better than HBAR, much better than Litecoin. When you compare it to Solana, it could be on par, but remember what Solana had on day one was it was the first altcoin ETF compared to others. Only Bitcoin and Ethereum launched, but they were a couple of years ago. So it was the first crypto ETF. It was the first crypto ETF of the year. So most people got drawn to it, even if they didn't like Solana. So the fact that we're coming close to Solana is very bullish. Now let's just try run some numbers. So we're at 1.2 million now. That's about 30 million. Solana did, if we go to Eric's post, Solana did 57 million. So we're already halfway there. Markets close in 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30. About 5.5 hours. 5.5 hours. So if they're closing 5.5 hours, how many shares do we need each hour? We need about 1 million an hour. No, is that right? Oh, no, we need about 1 million in total. So we need about 171,000 shares per hour. Are we going to get 171 shares an hour? I think we can. I think it'll be very tight. I think it's going to be very tight with Solana. So I think we're going to beat it. And I think it will be the biggest day launch. So that now tells us that if we compare it to each other, all of them with each other, that XRP is going to be the only, because if you think about it, what other coins are there? Solana was the only other contender to XRP, really. What else is there going to be launching that's going to rival XRP? Let's go on CoinMarketCap. Is CoinMarketCap? Let's go. Is there any other coins that can launch that can rival XRP? So XRP is number 3. BNB, is that going to rival XRP? No, no one's going to want to buy that. Solana was number 6. There is no other coin. Dogecoin, is that going to rival ADA? No. XRP is the 3rd largest coin, and it will continue to be the 3rd largest coin. You compare the numbers, we've now got confirmation that it's at least on par with Solana. It's more than HBAR. It's more than Litecoin. There is no coin that can rival it apart from Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we already know that. So this is top 3 coin. This means when institutions get their hands on it, XRP, there's going to be a supply shock. XRP's supply is slowly going to go down because it's going to be in the hands of long-term holders, and XRP's price will have no choice but to go up. That's not a one-day thing. That's a 1 month, not even a 1 month thing. This is a yearly thing. So now we've got all those numbers, and now it's just clicked on me when I've just looked at all those numbers and looking down the list. There's no other coin that will launch like XRP. XRP is probably going to beat Solana today, and even if it doesn't, but I think it will, it shows you that Solana had that advantage of being the first other altcoin apart from Bitcoin and Ethereum in a couple of years. So with what the launch we've just seen right now, 1.2 million, with what Eric predicted, and he was so wrong about it, even we were slightly wrong, we were a bit bearish, it really confirms the fact today that XRP is going to be the coin that institutions will want to invest in. They want to invest. It's not about picking one. Institutions on the whole will think of a basket, and they'll go for the top 5, top 3, top 3, probably top 5, maybe top 10. And XRP is going to be part of that. So institutional money is going to be flowing into XRP. XRP, with the amount of volume we've already seen, it has cemented its place, and it has confirmed it for all haters that for XRP is not going to make it, not going to have a spot ETF. Institutions are not going to be interested in it. Well, look at that volume. That volume's on the stock market. This is cemented the fact that XRP is going to get a lot of inflows. Remember, this isn't inflows, it's a volume, but the inflows will come. And over the next coming months and years, we now know that institutions are very, very interested in XRP just after hours of trading. 1 hour in trading, we can easily make that distinguishment between HBAR and Litecoin. They're great coins. I like HBAR, but you need to put them on different playing fields. XRP is up there with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and the data now backs it up. So congratulations, guys, because we now have that confirmation. Let me see if we've got any more confirmation from Eric. Remember, today we've got our SBCE event. If you are a Virgin Galactic investor, there's a whole deep dive in the newsletter today about it. If you've not heard about Virgin Galactic, stay tuned because that's later today. We'll have it. We'll also have our eVTOL event today with Vaz because there's been some major updates there. So XRPC at 26 million in volume in 30 minutes. Imagine that, 26 million in volume in 30 minutes. He says, wow, that's going to blow away my $17 million guess and has a good shot at beating BSOL's 57 million as biggest day one of launch of this year. Remember, we've also already had some XRP ETFs. They're not been spot ETFs, but they've been close enough. XRP or whatever it was. It had some spots. So we've already, that took the edge off it as well. So XRPC having this much volume, already having a sort of an XRP ETF and already having Solana HBAR and Litecoin debut, that's even more bullish for the numbers. 5 minutes until the sale ends. We don't normally do things like this. It's just because this is such a historic day. The first 10 people, have we got 10 people yet? Let me check. No, I don't think we do. The first 10 people, you can get the newsletter for free for 30 days. What are you doing if you haven't got it yet? It's 5 minutes. It's going to end. You get all the top stories. And then what was I going to do after this? I was going to tell you about the $2,000 giveaway as well. We're keeping an eye on the shares as well. This link gives you 30 days free for the newsletter. It's not just a newsletter. It's direct access to me, direct messages to me. It's the portfolio that's coming out soon as well. It's the super killer app that's going to bankrupt other companies. That's going to be part of the newsletter, but you can secure it today with the 30-day free trial and the price there as well. Okay, so Lola, buy. Let me answer some of your questions. Never sell XRP. 1.3 million volume so far for the ETF. No, it's not. Yeah, 1.3 million. Yeah, we've got it. You can see it down here. 1.26. If you want that in dollars, it's 1.26. That is long-term accumulation XRP. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's long-term. This is not about today. Is XRP pumping or dumping? What is XRP doing anyway? It's down. Sell the news, as expected. Yeah, we're at $33.5 million of volume right now. We only need 880,000 shares more. We only need around 2 million shares, and that beats Solana. What's the other 6 ETFs to launch this month? It's hard to tell because we don't know if there's any other ETFs launching because the SEC is back after the government shutdown. So are they going to change their rules? Well, I'll keep you updated on this channel. Free mug, says Chris. No free mug. Diddle in the middle rest of day. Diddle in the middle in the rest of the day. What is the market doing? I've heard a lot of you saying we're down and Michael Burry's going to be happy. Oh yeah, the S&P 500 is down 1%. I mean, okay, fair enough. If XRP is down today, you can't really blame it on XRP. General markets are down 1% today. We gave you the warning yesterday about this. There's going to be recession fears and everything like that. Go back and watch yesterday's live show. If you haven't subscribed yet or hit the like button, please do. Okay. So yeah, S&P 500 is down 1%. Remember, we shorted Palantir the day before earnings. What's that doing? PLTR. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, it's down. What else is the market doing? XRP is holding up as one of the top coins today. We're bullish on silver as well. We're predicting that to go to $100 in the next year. Stock market is down. Yeah, everything in the stock market is down. Archer, Rocket Lab, Mobix. SBC is down 5% going into earnings, breaking its trend as well. Or not really, actually. Yeah, SBC is looking quite interesting. Okay, so last minute and 50 seconds. We've covered most of the ETF news. We'll obviously give it a big synopsis tomorrow. Once we get the whole day trading, we might go live later. But remember, keep an eye on this channel because Vaz is going to be going live with the eVTOL news and the SBC news. But you've got 1 minute and 30 seconds. It's running until the end of the hour, basically, and then the code becomes... well, I guess in the next minute and 25 seconds. If you want all the news, for example, you go to today's newsletter, You get the top stories at a glance. You get the one big thing, the money move, the market snapshot. This is the last time I'm going to tell you about this. I just want everyone to make sure they know what they're getting into. 5 things they need to know every day. There's the top stories. The US shutdown, the 2.0 is back on the cards, the Starbucks story, the go path for every day. So 5 top stories of the day. The XRP news, the SPCE, Virgin Galactic, high risk, high reward ahead of Q3 earnings. You've got the business today, the Delta class, the financial reality. You've got all the information, the 2027 debt cliff, the key risks, the bull case. That's all we do for the deep dives all the time. The earnings this week, what's coming up, the economic calendar, what data to keep an eye out for, and the charts of the day. The one-on-one access with me. Message me anytime, 24/7. Get that portfolio app that we're bringing out for free. Also bring you the portfolio access, my personal portfolio. For the last time, here is the link. That is spammed in the chat right now. If what you can do is click on that link, you've still got about a couple minutes before it ends. You can click on that, get the annual plan, get the monthly plan, or get the free plan. But that link especially gives you that 30-day free trial. Try it for free, and then you can cancel it if you don't like it. But no one ever cancels it because they like it. So this is, I'll take that off the screen now. You'll still have a few minutes to get through that, but then after that you can't. Okay, so let me just quickly tell you about our $2,000 giveaway, and then let's end the show. So we're giving $2,000 worth of XRP away live on the show. What do I mean about that? What do I mean? Well, it's our money. It's our sponsors' money. We are giving it away to you. No one really benefits from this apart from you, the people watching. It's sort of a way to give back. One of our sponsors is Charlotte May Wedding. Charlotte May Weddings does weddings in Greece and south of Spain. Do check it out if you ever need to refer someone to have a wedding, or if you want to get married yourself, then always message us and we'll redirect you to Charlotte May Weddings. But there is the website. Go check out the website, and there is Charlotte May Weddings. You can also, let's see if we can get some subscribers up as well for Charlotte May Weddings as well. This is her this is their YouTube channel. Click on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed to Charlotte May Wedding as well, and you can check them out. The reason I'm telling you about that, if you do both of those things, you get a chance to win $2,000 worth of XRP. So you go over to the competition page. I'll give you this competition page now. This is how you win $2,000 worth of XRP live on the show. You then go over to a competition page, and this is free to enter, free for all. Everyone can win. Oh, well, everyone has the chance to win. 1 entry equals 1 ticket. 1 ticket equals 1 entry. Free to enter, free for all. So what you can do here is, if you're already subscribed to newsletter, you can claim your 20 tickets. If you already follow Martyn on X, you can claim your 5 tickets. If you've already done what I just said, which is visit Charlotte May Weddings on the internet website, and also subscribe to them on YouTube, that's another 10 tickets, another 10 chances to win $2,000 worth of XRP. You can just go down this list and you can win chances to win $2,000 worth of XRP. So that's there. Now, what's the other thing I was going to tell you about? So yeah, we're going to be doing that live on the show. It's not a fake giveaway, it's a real giveaway. So we're live every single day. If you don't mind to make sure you are subscribed and hitting that like button, that'd be great. I think we're going to make sure that Vaz's show is set up and then end today's show. What we're actually going to do is go over to members, because I want to answer all members' questions. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go over to members. Let me close that poll as well, actually. So let me go over to a members show. So if you're a member, you can have all your answers, all your questions answered now. Is that what we want to do, or do you want to? When's Vaz going live? Just checking Vaz's show today, because he's got 2 big shows and I don't want to take away from his show. Live. Yeah, Vaz is going with live with SBC. We don't have his other show available yet. I'll give everyone the link to Vaz's SPC show in case you do want to join him for that. You can always notify yourself for that. Yeah, I think we'll send everyone to that, because I don't want to take away from Vaz's show. Vaz will be going live, and I'm sure he'll want to invite all of you there. We'll do another members only show tomorrow. So thank you guys for tuning in. This show's automatically going to take you over to Vaz. Vaz is going to be going live with Virgin Galactic, also an Evtol show. So do go check him out. But thank you everyone for tuning in for the launch day. I think we're going to beat Solana. We'll give you the catch up maybe later on today. I'll tell Vaz what the numbers are and he can share it with you. Or we can be back or tune in with us tomorrow and I'll give you more information then. But thank you everyone for supporting the show. What a historic day. This is I've lost all my energy because I've been so excited about today and it's finally happened. Don't worry about XRP's price action. Don't worry about the short term, but long term, this is great for XRP. But as always, nothing is financial advice. Do your own research. Until next time, thank you all for tuning in. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.